Right.
Hello, everybody. How is it going? How are you all doing today? We got an amazing show for you planned. However, we all know how plans always turn out. So just because we're planning an amazing show doesn't mean it's going to turn out that way. But anyways, 2 years ago, I think it was, probably a little more than that because I think we did that in December, we did our top 10 best and worst of 2017. And I figured, you know what, it'd be fun to do something similar to that, but we're going to do it.
We're going to do the best of 2020.
We're going to do the... Yes, we're gonna predict the future of what's going to be good.
Serious questions?
But
Have any movies come out this year?
I think so. I feel like
there's a few. We'll talk about it after the show. But we're gonna go over our 10 favorite films of the decade. Basically, we're gonna be going around. Each of us is gonna give our favorite of each year. So starting with 2010, then 2011, etc. Basically, all the way up to 2019. It'll be like a recreation. So whether you guys are watching because you guys used to watch the podcast after work, or you dweebs and weebs, or nerds of the multiverse, all are welcome for this. This is just going to be a fun,
How optimistic
discussion.
of you thinking they've seen anything we've done.
Yeah.
Or that anyone's listening at all.
That's a fair point, but
it's
maybe. But yeah, we'll find out, I guess. So let's get started. Megan or Alex? Which one of you guys wants to go first?
Why
That's
does it have to be one of us?
Because I'm trying to make sure it goes around so that I go last, basically.
Oh.
Racist.
Why you gotta go last?
Because
I'm insulted.
Give me a reason.
What's so special about you?
Yeah.
You know what?
The fuck
You know what?
If
Fuck
I
it.
just for that, you're going first,
No.
motherfucker.
Yeah, you know what? Actually, go first.
You know what? We're going to randomize it every time.
Yeah, we're gonna randomize every time after you go first.
After you go first.
you know what? I'm okay with randomizing who goes first each time.
After you, we're gonna all do a fucking Rochambeau for who goes.
No, I honestly don't care.
Wait, can I vote that in the next one Alex goes first because he's the one that's playing Cookie Clicker right now?
I'm not playing it.
You have it open!
It's open in the
It is current year!
I was going to say, if he's doing Cookie Clicker and he's high enough, it's probably just playing itself at this point.
Wait. How many grannies you got? You got any grannies in there yet or no?
I have 150.
You got 150 grannies playing the cookies?
I mean, grannies are only the second
I
level.
have 12.65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 60, 61, 60 trillion cookies.
Why
Holy
do you
shit.
play this game?
Yeah, why?
I mean, I actually haven't played it in 33 days. I know because when I
That doesn't matter.
when I boot up, I had 33
Why do
daily.
you-
Your answer should be like, I haven't played it in 5 years.
Yeah.
Oh, so I restarted it back when I was doing essays.
Yeah, I know.
Because it was a background thing that whenever I was feeling like I might be bored and be distracted, I could go to do something passively while I thought about my essays.
You couldn't be like a normal person and just have porn? Look at porn?
Listen,
I
I did
don't-
that too.
I don't
do
know
multiple-
that
Alright,
many
let's-
people
let's-
who look
let's
at
stay on
porn while
target.
doing essays.
Also,
No,
cookie
like, just take
clicker
a fucking
porn is kinda
break.
great.
Okay.
All right.
There's a Cookie Clicker
Megan,
porn!
normal.
All the grannies.
I'm gonna let
Oh, God.
I'm gonna let Megan go first.
Let me quote Star Wars and let's stay on target. All right.
Yeah.
So, sure, I'll go first. So we're starting off 2010, right?
2010. Yeah. What was
Yeah.
your favorite movie in 2010?
So my favorite movie, it was a hard one. I have a few
That's what she
honor.
Sorry.
That's fine.
Hey, you know what? I will say that joke was relevant for 2010. So there you go.
Oh,
All right,
actually,
all right. So yeah, in 2010 I had a few movies that I really enjoyed. A few honorable mentions for me. Inception I thought was a great film.
Oh, dang, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Yeah, that came
that
out
was
2010. And then
that was my runner-up,
I was really into Harry Potter at the time, so Harry Potter: Deathly Hallows Part 1. And then How to Train Your Dragon came out. Scott Pilgrim vs. the World was great. Me and my friend loved Easy A.
This is all 2010, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is all in
Okay,
2010.
I actually did have a question, actually.
Huh.
Are we doing everyone's full list?
No.
No.
Okay, 1 year though.
Yeah,
1 year at a
you
time.
can do. Yeah, we're doing.
These are
one
my
year at a
honorable
time.
mentions.
Yeah, just honorable mentions. Don't say
Gotcha.
more than don't
Just
say
the
anything
title.
about them. Just
Okay,
say
I'll
the
be
title
honest,
of the
I
film.
only have like 1 or 2 honorable mentions.
That's fine.
here, and
That's fine. I was weird and
I
had
don't
a
have
list.
any.
I mean, I had a lot of things on each year. I just narrowed them down.
I literally don't even have a list. I just
These
have
are my
one
narrowed
movie.
down.
Yeah.
They're the ones that I enjoyed over there.
But we're like all doing 2010, then
Yeah.
2009. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
Yeah, and also my last honorable mention is Social Network. I really liked that film, and I read the book about it. It was great. But my all-time favorite was Toy Story 3. I thought it was, I think it was the first movie that I think when I was younger, that was like my first movie that I cried in the theaters, and I watched it with a neighbor of mine, and I absolutely loved it. I thought it was a great ending to a great trilogy, which in my mind I still think of it as a trilogy. I liked the fourth one, but I still thought that the ending of Toy Story 3 was just a great wrap up, and that should have been the end of it. But I really enjoyed it. The emotion was there. I'm a sucker for good animation, and I just loved it through and through. And it's one of my favorite childhood films. Toy Story. I watched Toy Story 2 a lot. I had a Jessie doll. It just brought all the nostalgia and stuff. Watching it as an adult, well, quote unquote adult, just an older kid.
Yeah, I
so.
can get behind that. It was a damn good animation.
Yeah.
So that's why I put it as my top film of 2010.
Yep.
All right, so I guess I'm going second because someone called me out on playing Cookie Clicker.
I said next year.
Oh.
Yeah, Isaac's next. The fuck you? Now you want to?
Fen
Now you want to? Now you
Hey,
want to
listen,
skip
listen, no.
Isaac?
We
I am
going-
happy to pass.
We're going in an
Alright.
aesthetically pleasing
Let's
circle.
yeah.
Fen Hotsause.
Let's
Fen
have-
Hotsause.
Okay, so we're referring to Isaac as Fen Hotsause. Got it.
That is what I go by on the internet.
Fen Hotsause.
At least for videos.
Yeah.
On the interwebs.
All right.
So The Last Airbender was a heartwarming film.
I swear to
I will
fucking God.
kill you after the show.
So, you know what? Since you mentioned it, putting out there, that's going to be my dishonorable mention that I talk about.
I actually had like 2 joke selections for each year. Anyway, I actually was gonna say Toy Story 3, but then I was reminded that Inception was a thing.
Yeah.
Inception's my favorite. I just love Christopher Nolan. It was a weird, trippy movie, and I loved it. It was really deep in depth. I'm not gonna have a lot to say about like any movie, honestly.
Okay, that's fair enough.
Honorable mentions: How to Train Your Dragon, Toy Story 3, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, Megamind. It was a really shit movie, but it had amazing music and music sequences burlesque.
Oh,
I
okay.
thought you were
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
about Megamind for a second. I'm like, I feel the opposite.
Megamind was a shit movie, but the music, oh my
Yeah.
god,
the music, holy
The
shit.
opposite of that. It was a good movie.
I mean,
but the music
Megamind-
was questionable.
Megan might had Highway to Hell though, so
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Highway to Hell does
Yeah.
not make something good for me.
Burlesque is good as a series of music videos if you cut out the story. Also, the scene where Cher beat someone's window in was really good.
I legit really agree with you on Burlesque, actually. I'm not too into musicals and shit. I actually kind of like Burlesque. But just for its music.
My other option for a joke entry here was Human Centipede, the first sequence.
Oh, that came out
Yeah.
that year? Oh
Yeah.
man. Beavis and Butthead probably would have put that as their number one. If
Right,
you
that's
if you
my
ever watch like the new season, it's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, that was my 2010.
All right, go to Isaiah.
My movie for 2020 is Human Centipede: The First Season.
No, it's not.
I totally forgot that was a movie.
I
that
really
came
wish
out.
I would have chosen that as my actual joke entry now.
Wait, was that actually your pick?
The only other one, no, well, my other pick was going to be The Expendables.
Ew! What the?
I did not see shit in 2010.
Okay.
That's
Apparently, all you saw was shit in 2010.
Hey, Expendables was fun.
honestly.
I've heard enjoyable things about it.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
dumb
It's
fun.
not a good movie.
Yeah, it's
good.
dumb fun.
It's
It's a
watchable,
fun, stupid movie.
It's watchable is about all I'll give it.
and
And that's a technicality.
I'd say Human Centipede is fascinating. I don't want to watch it again, but it was fascinating.
The first one specifically, I
Yeah.
think had good potential, but it needed to be more graphic for one. Honestly,
I've watched.
well, the teeth scene definitely made me cringe.
the
Not
teen
gonna
scene,
lie.
but like in
Yeah.
general, it was like they're like it sold itself entirely on being like super gory and realistic, but there's very little that actually happens.
Yeah.
Like someone gets cut and there's a little blood, and that's kind of.
I
everything
have
else is
watched
in-
all of them at least 3 or 4 times.
Why?
I get bored, and I'm just like, yeah, fuck it.
There's better things to watch. I've seen all of them, so I know how shit they are.
The third one's really fucking horrible.
This third one was.
The
Third one they just gave up.
Don't
All
watch
right.
the third one.
Too late. I'm gonna watch
Alex, do you want me to call you Panda, Bugfang, or Alex?
Bugfang.
All right,
it. Panda's what
Bugfang.
my family calls me.
Yeah.
Alex is what people who don't know me call me. And Bugfang is what people on the internet don't call me. But hopefully
No,
one day, maybe they will.
no. People call you.
I mean, people on the internet call me Vintage Fenrir, so I'm doing Fen
Okay, you know
Hotsause
what?
just because
Fine.
it's some more.
You should change
People-
your Facebook name to Fen Hotsause.
My name's Mize, but people on
Lame.
the internet call me the N-word.
No, fair enough. Anyway, my pick. I think 2010 was a really weak year, honestly. And I too, like Megan, am a fan of good animation, which is why I also picked an animation, but one that was actually good.
Wait, you didn't
Secret
do
World
How
of
dare
Arietti.
you?
Yeah, it was good. It just wasn't, as good as it could have been. I had problems with the fact that it wasn't the end to trilogy, and I don't mean,
In
literally.
2010, it was the end of the trilogy.
At the time.
I don't mean literally, like that they made another one afterwards. I'm cool with them making another Toy Story afterwards. I wasn't cool that they didn't die. I actually thought the movie would have been
That's where I cried.
It would have been a raise from like an 8.5 out of 10 to a 9 or 10 out of 10 for me if they had died in the furnace. If they
I
had
do
died
think
in
it
the
would have been
furnace,
better if they died.
it would have been 100% more affecting to me. It would have made me possibly actually cry. It would have been better. It would have been a stronger movie if there had actually been any lasting consequence.
That would have been way too dark.
At least,
But guess you know what?
At least if the main two had died.
I don't disagree with that, but I still think it was.
Yeah.
And you know
Same
what?
damage.
Growing up in adulthood's
good.
fucking
It
dark.
It is, but like, I don't know.
Alright. But my pick was Secret World of Arietti, a Studio Ghibli film, though not, I don't think a Main House Miyazaki one.
No, that one didn't.
Miyazaki didn't do that one.
Yeah, but
I think his
Closer to
recent
you,
one was
so
The Wind
I'm on
Rises.
camera.
That was his most recent one.
Yeah.
this was way before Wind Rises.
Yeah, that was
Wind
back-
Rises was 2013?
14.
14?
No,
No,
it
it
was
was 13.
It might have been 13 in
It's
Japan,
13.
but it was 14 in America.
I have it as 13.
That's
I'm
fine,
doing
that's
all
fine. Like I said,
for
that's
all
fine.
my Miyazakis, I'm doing Japanese release.
That's fine, yeah. So that,
Um,
13.
I mean,
But so it's 13 for the Japanese for the initial release.
No, USA. November 8th, 2013.
oh, I
there
was
you go.
wrong.
So
Okay,
it's
I'm
13
wrong.
for
My
both.
bad.
For Miyazaki's, I feel like all of the main Miyazaki's actually got release dates either close to or identical with the Japanese.
Okay. That's possible.
But
Yeah.
Secret World of Arietti. Sadly, it's not anywhere near my favorite Miyazaki movie or Studio Ghibli movie, but it's a fantastic little animated movie. And 2010 was a really weak year, and it wasn't a really weak film. It was weak comparatively to a lot of its, Miyazaki companions and other Studio Ghibli masterpieces. But I don't even think it's that weak. I personally really like it. And it was my top pick for 2010. Now, this is my one dishonorable mention I gotta talk about. The Last Airbender is a movie that ruined the live-action potential, franchise potential, toy sales, and goodwill that maybe the best piece of animation ever made.
It was a beautiful love story to the heart of martial arts made
You
by
shut the front door on your ass on the way out of here.
The Last Airbender was probably one of the most inspirational movies of the decade.
I'm gonna actually stab you guys.
I will rip out your esophagus and feed it to
M.
you.
Night Shyamalan is a genius. He's never done a single thing wrong.
M. Night Shyamalan, Ding Dong knows how to make masterpieces.
Brilliant casting, brilliant storytelling, amazing effects.
Last Airbender was shit. The show was amazing.
The show was amazing, and I'm so sorry that so many people will avoid the show now because of that movie, and that so many people will probably instantly dislike Netflix's whatever Netflix does with it because they will associate it with this movie. I am. It's probably the single worst thing to happen in entertainment during this decade, as far as I'm concerned.
Really?
Yeah, straight up. Yeah.
None of the Me Too stuff are gonna.
I honestly don't
Yeah.
know.
Those aren't
That's the
those aren't
industry,
in
not
entertainment.
films.
Those are industry, not films. This is like in terms of filmmaking. Yeah, this was the worst thing that was made. This is the worst.
And it was at the very beginning.
Yeah, this was the thing that hurt the industry the most in terms of things that were produced, not people producing films, not the people behind them, but through actual products that were made that hurt the industry. This was the worst hurting product the industry.
I don't know. There was Blade Runner 2049.
I swear to God, you shit talk about. We'll get to Blade Runner.
All right.
We will.
And
Moving
Force Awakens was pretty
Moving
fucking
on.
bad.
No, that's not
I
on
mean,
my
they had
list, right?
they
It's
had
not
a
on my
female
list.
character.
All right.
Dude.
All
So-
right, stay on
so-
target.
It
Stay
doesn't
on
matter.
target.
If
Shit talk.
it doesn't matter
Stop
if
shit
it's.
talking.
I'm not
Stay
shit
on
talking.
target. All
Stay
right.
on target.
Anyways, my 2010
That's no moon.
release.
That's a space.
My 2010 definitely has to go to Toy Story 3 as well, because I fucking love this movie. I got super emotional, and it is one of the few movies that I do not regret buying a 3D ticket for, but not because the 3D looked amazing in this movie, but because those 3D glasses did a great job of hiding my tears after I left the theater.
Just wipe the bottom.
Yeah, exactly.
There was a leak in that theater.
Everyone came out like there were leaks in the ceiling.
Yeah, they're like-
I was right
So-
under the AC.
It
and
was steamy in that theater, man. Like, geez.
I was right under the AC. The condenser's leaking.
Let's go around the other way now and start with Bugfang then.
Oh
right,
shit! Priscilla,
2011.
you're
2011.
Making sure you're always last.
2011, also not a very good year for film as far as I'm concerned. It wasn't the strongest. It was okay. It had a couple pieces I was struggling to choose between, not because they were all fantastic and great, but because they were all kind of middling bits in whatever they were in. And I liked quite a few movies. I didn't love many. One of the ones I loved, the one I'd probably end up loving the most because I chose it above the rest, though by a slim margin, was Thor. The first Thor movie, Thor 2011. Was awesome, fantastic, beautiful. Still to this day, I think I hate the DVD the DVD version. Had like a weird filtering issue. They put like a really dark filter over the entire film, and it's in every version after the Blu-ray came out, and it sucks. Even the digital version, which really stinks because the version I saw in theaters was gorgeous. It was bright. It was beautiful. You could see. I have actual problems seeing the DVD version. All the bits in Asgard, instead of being gold, are black for some reason. It's a really weird thing. And I'm not even joking. Like, I actually have trouble making out details in the world because of it.
Is that empty?
No.
Okay, good. Okay, never
Mostly.
mind. Yeah, okay, that's fine then. I just saw it tip over, and I'm like, that better not be full.
But I think it was really good. And it's my personal favorite of the Thor films, even after Thor Ragnarok was extraordinarily strong. I love it. I think it showed what Marvel could have done if they had gone for better spiritual adaptations instead of trying to go their own way all the time. I end up loving them going their own way, but this was a sign to me that they could have been great actually making adaptations, which they didn't end up doing. Yeah.
All right. What is your 2011 pick, Isaiah?
My 2011 one's Fast 5.
Fast 5. That's actually a really fun film.
Yeah, no, that was my first Fast and Furious film.
Pretty good. Made me like the series again. Dude, I didn't watch any movies in 2011 either. I just like said, I'm like, yeah, Fast 5. It's a movie I watched.
That's one with the.
That's a good choice, honestly.
Yeah, that's
not a bad
it's
choice.
when they finally kind of knew where they wanted to take the franchise.
I feel like
at
it's
that
more of
point.
just
I
like
disagree with that assertion. I think they knew in 4. They just hadn't perfected their execution of it yet.
That's fair enough. Yeah, that
Sure.
makes sense.
Makes sense.
They started to get kind of weird in 4, but it wasn't until like 5 where they really just went
And
like
introduced
over
Dwayne
the top.
Johnson.
they were just like, you know,
Dwayne
let's just
Johnson
go
is
balls
what
to the
changed
wall.
the franchise for.
That's the one with the heist.
Don't
with
be
the
hating
big
me
save,
for
right?
this, but I'm gonna say for the better. Anyone?
Why would we hate you?
Not
for
you
that?
guys. I'm talking to the
Because
internet.
most people
To
don't.
people
Because
on the
most
internet
people
who
actually
actually-
like Dwayne
Well,
The Rock
fuck-
Johnson.
fuck
The
the
weird
internet.
people that think that the first one was a masterpiece, even though it was just
it
The
like
first one was great.
good.
The
But
first
I
one was
wouldn't-
great.
It was
No, I actually
good,
disagree
but
with
I
that.
wouldn't
No,
call it a
The
masterpiece.
first
It's great.
one
It's not a masterpiece,
is
but it's pretty good.
borderline
Yeah, it's
a
pretty good.
masterpiece in action filmmaking.
That's
It's
the one
not
with the-
actually a masterpiece, but it's like just below. Like if I'm rating this just an action movie, it's a 9 out of 10.
Okay.
5's the one with the safe heist, right?
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
5. I love. Yeah, I'm just saying. First one I
just wondering
like.
which one's
I don't
which.
love it though. I just like it. It's okay.
Wait. No. 4 is the one with the safe heist. 5
No,
is the
no,
one
Five
with
is
Mexico.
no.
The safe heist.
No, no,
4 is the one where they're in Mexico. 5 is the safe heist.
With the safe
No.
where they switched the big ass
Yeah,
safe.
because 4
with
was
the
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 guy.
other way around.
No, 4 was the
because
one where she dies.
Rodriguez was still dead.
She was still dead in
She was
5.
still dead
She
in
was
4.
dead in 5.
No, they brought her
she
back
died
in-
in 4. She died in 4.
Shit.
These
Came
fucking
back in
timelines
6.
are
Hold on,
annoying,
hold on.
man.
I think you're right, actually.
Yes, I am
She
right.
died in...
Where's Ludacris when you need him?
died.
Yeah.
Died in 4.
Yeah, died in 4.
4, 5. Came back and said, "Yeah, you're right. You're
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
No, you're right." I remember. Okay, yeah, I remember about
Yeah, they call it, or Fast and Furious 5 Rio Heist.
There we go.
Anything else to say about 5?
Vroom vroom.
Cool. Then Fen Hot Sauce.
Hold on.
Oh,
Before we move on from 5,
yeah.
I have to give massive credit. Without 5, we don't have the best of the Fast and Furious franchise.
Which
Hobbs and
is...
Shaw.
Hobbs and Shaw.
Yeah. Okay, that's
All right, cool.
So Cars 2 is one of the best spy movies.
I still to say, I've seen 1, I've seen 3, I've seen Planes and Rescue Fire Force.
I
however.
haven't seen Cars 2
Haven't
either.
seen 2.
I
That's
haven't
the
seen
only
2
Pixar
either.
movie I haven't seen.
Yeah, it is also one of 2 Pixar movies I haven't seen.
Which
And the
one
other
is
one
it?
is a short film, I think.
Which one?
I don't even remember.
Alright.
I remember going through the list with a coworker
So you saw Good
months
Dinosaur?
ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my least favorite Pixar film, period.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, same.
By significant margin.
It wasn't great, but it wasn't, yeah. But moving on, yeah.
Okay, I had 2. I put down 2 options for best.
Okay.
I thought
One
you
of
said it was
them.
Car 2.
One of them was Thor.
Yeah, 2.
It's the 2 options. One of them was Thor, and while that one's definitely the better one, my favorite honestly was Rubber.
That came out that year?
Shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shit.
Well, I didn't have that on my list because I didn't remember that it came out that year, and I didn't see it on the list I was looking at films.
I'll be 100% honest though. The list I was looking at, I realized later on in the list, they were listing movies that came out for any reason, not because they had just come out.
Oh.
Wait, what? What do you mean?
Like
by that?
if it
So
got a
not
special
initial-
release, they put it on the
Right.
list again.
Oh.
Or if it got like a new Blu-ray, it got on the list again.
Okay.
Damn.
So
Okay.
it may not have actually come out in 2011, but that's what I put down.
You know what?
Fair enough.
I'm
Hey,
okay with including it.
that's
And
fine.
everyone writes it off as just like, oh, it's just about a psychic tire. But like the real movie is it's the people watching it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
that's the
No,
entire.
I agree.
Le-
I
legit,
fully agree.
I'm gonna back you on this one. If I know it's on the list, it would have been a closer competition. It still might have been beat out by Thor, but not by much. That would have been either my 1 or 2 pick for that year too.
Other joke option was Human Centipede Part 2 full sequence.
God damn.
Oh, bitch.
Those came out
one-
so
one-
close to each other?
Yeah,
Apparently.
because it's cheap to make.
One that I actually wish I had seen that I found out only while researching for this is called Suing the Devil. And
I
it's
saw it on a list, yeah.
it's a movie about a law student that sues Satan, who then appears on the mortal plane to defend himself in court.
What the fuck?
And I want to see this
That
movie.
actually sounds really fucking interesting.
Okay, we're seeing
I
this
have
movie
not
then.
seen that movie. That sounds so cool.
That sounds like a movie we need to watch together. All right.
Yeah,
I
no.
All right, next one.
also-
All right,
I also
yeah.
Yeah,
would
no,
like
I saw
to-
that. I saw that title like come up during research for this. I just looked on the Wikipedia page for all the releases of a specific year, and I saw that on there just briefly. I'm like, the hell's that about?
What were you gonna say?
I would like to also change my answer to Human Centipede.
Okay.
I'm joking. I actually like
You're
Fast
going
Five.
to take
a
a
lot
joke so far.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. So in
Just like
20
a centipede.
Dude, Alex is us. There's no limits to what kind of jokes we're allowed to make.
Yeah. Well,
It's
I mean,
never-
When we're
ones
all
that are-
together.
yeah.
Yeah, when we're all together, that is.
And not in front of a camera. It's
never too
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
never too
yeah.
hard. It's never too long.
That's exactly what they said.
Size matter.
That sounds like my Friday nights.
All right.
So
This summer, foot long double tape. Then.
yeah, so for me in 2011, I didn't watch a whole lot of movies. Didn't really get into all that. So for my honorable mentions, I had the first Planet of the Apes film. I think it was called Rise of Planet of the Apes, if I'm not mistaken.
The first one?
Yeah.
You mean the
First remake.
The first with James
first
Franco.
of
The
the
one with
new-
James Franco.
Well, it wasn't the first remake either.
Yeah.
I mean, if you went
There's-
down, yeah.
there's-
The first of the new series.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
one with
the
James
first
Franco.
of the Rise series. It's actually
Yeah.
called the Rise.
Yeah,
series.
that's the first one, right? That's the name of it, if I remember correctly.
Of the first of the Rise series.
Yeah.
No, but what's
Yeah,
the
but
actual
it's Rise of the
name?
Planet
Oh,
of
the
the
title.
Apes.
Rise of the Planet.
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she's
I just
right
wanted to
on
confirm
that,
because it was
yeah.
Rise, Dawn, and what was
Revenge.
no?
I don't remember.
No.
Other
Rise of the
Other-
Planet of the
other
Apes
R
2,
word?
The Revenge Electric Boogaloo.
No.
It's so funny. It's like the third one's my favorite, but I don't remember what the subtitle was. It was-
War of the
War.
Planet
War.
of the
Yeah,
Apes.
War.
Oh, was it actually?
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
was it actually War?
Actually, right. That was it.
I was fucking memeing. I didn't.
No, that's
actually
100%
No, yeah, I
right.
remember because
right.
everyone was making fun of it because how often it said "of the" in the title.
Yeah.
Yeah.
War of the
Or War
Planet
for
of
the
the
Planet of the
Apes.
Apes. Or I don't
That's
know.
right.
That's
So,
exactly why I made fun of it. Like War of the Planet of the Apes.
but yeah,
Oh
no,
my God.
one of my honorable mentions is Rise of the Planet of the Apes. I really liked it. I love Andy Serkis' performance in that. You did great. And then I also put down, additionally, for Rango, Kung Fu Panda 2, and Super 8.
Those 3 exactly were my fucking like run-ups. I couldn't that I had trouble with.
But,
legit, straight up, I love those.
Yeah, no. But my ultimate choice was because Harry Potter was a huge thing growing. All right. But for me, it was a huge thing growing up. I read all the books. I loved all the films. So I chose Harry Potter: Deathly Hallows Part 2.
Wait, is your actual choice?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think we can be friends. The only Harry Potter movie worse than that was the one that came out right before it, and that was such a horrendous.
I didn't watch it like a critic. I didn't watch it. I didn't get into all the nitpicky
Arthur
stuff.
Weasley made the flying car because they were going to get a divorce.
Listen,
honestly,
do you know how
I
close
like
that movie was to being my one honorable dismention?
Alex,
Really?
you think you don't like
That's
it?
fine.
I think you just don't like it because Dumbledore's gay. I think you just...
you're just
Dumbledore's
homophobic.
not even in it.
You're just
that's
homophobic,
straight
man.
up.
Wow. You don't even notice him because of his gayness.
Okay.
Okay, actually, he
Alright.
wasn't.
But-
You're just homophobic.
But in all seriousness, I
The
didn't.
white space, yeah.
I didn't watch it to be nitpicky or anything. It was full of nostalgia. Harry Potter was a big part of my life. I used to watch it at my grandmother's place. She had 2 VHS copies of the first one. I would watch it every time I'd visit.
I would watch both of them at the same time.
Yes.
You're mentioning all of the reasons I hated it because Harry Potter is a big part of my
Oh,
life. I had 2 VHS copies of the first one, the first one and the extended edition. I had everything. These are all the reasons I hated the end
I'm
of
sorry you didn't enjoy it, but I
No,
really did.
Hated. I don't use hate much.
You
I
use
hated
hate.
it.
You use hate a lot.
All right.
Shut up.
Okay,
Hate
I
is
don't-
my word.
I don't mean hate much. I mean it.
I
bad.
feel like you mean hate.
He
much.
does.
You do.
Yeah, for a lot.
What?
For a lot of things.
You are hating on
You
it
hated on
when
episode
I'm
8.
Yeah.
mentioning
You hated
how I
on-
like it.
Yeah. What do I normally use a lot on?
A lot on anime.
Okay, that's
All right.
okay. To be fair,
But-
You still
okay,
use it.
okay,
That's
okay.
still
Alright,
the
guys,
concept.
guys.
But that's not actually about many things. I hate specific tropes that keep getting reused in anime,
That's still stuck.
and I hate them because they're literally toxic and despicable.
I mean, it's still an example of you using hate a lot.
Or people who have
Okay,
the same idea.
then that's a fair example.
Okay.
Okay.
But about normal things, I don't use hate much.
Okay.
Okay.
I say I
Great.
dislike things or that I hate that they did something. I don't actually hate things themselves.
All right, let her finish.
Yes, please. I enjoyed the Harry Potter series. I loved it when I was a kid, and I liked the conclusion. I like all the actors. I love all the effort and time they put into it. I absolutely loved it, and I thought it was a good conclusion.
I dirty my mustache.
Wizards use rubber ducks as fleshlights.
My 2011 pick.
Hold on. I'm sorry. What?
Wait, what?
How did you know?
What the fuck? Hold on. What? What
Oh
did
yeah,
you
it's
say?
canonical in Book 5,
Stop.
Chapter 26, page 173.
I think you mean in J.K. Rowling's Twitter.
In J.K. Rowling, the Book of J.K. Rowling.
Yeah,
Book
the books aren't finished.
there's a new one every year.
All right. My 2011 pick, Super 8, definitely. As you guys all know,
cool with
Goonies
your
is
pick.
my all-time favorite film, and even though Super 8 wasn't an amazing movie, it definitely gave me that nostalgia when watching it. It was a great. I'd say it's a great movie.
an amazing.
I'd say it was great. I wouldn't quite say amazing, but it was really, really good. Like right below amazing.
It's a solid
Um,
8, man. That's
yeah.
pretty amazing.
I don't know. I use amazing for like 9 and 10. I wouldn't use it for an 8. I would agree. I'd give it a solid 8.5 actually, but not quite amazing. But it was really good because I love the characters in this, and J.J. Abrams. This is him at his like almost best. Almost. We'll get to that later. Spoilers.
Yeah, Star
but,
Trek was great.
But anyways,
I love those movies.
Are you
like
talking about the second
honestly, if I had like any nitpicks about this movie,
Actually,
I'd really just kind of say that the monster itself, only because of how everything was like so really cool, like being very nostalgic and everything. I kind of wish when we finally see the monster, it wasn't
gone
super
practical with
CG heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I wouldn't mind CG enhancements. I just wish he wasn't completely CG and he felt like something that could have actually existed in an 80s
There were
film.
a lot of comments from him about wanting that too, though, and it seemed like that was something that,
like a studio decision.
yeah, that
makes
was
sense.
something that investors wanted to see.
Okay, that makes sense. Actually,
Because I actually
People
can't
want
remember if it was a
plastic.
studio movie. But
People want plastic.
People want non-existent plastic in their film.
clearly.
no, but like this was a real problem, especially with the early 2000s. There's probably a lot of movies in the early 2000s fault, honestly, that people kept wanting to see CG shit. Not people, studios.
Yeah.
Kept wanting to see CG everywhere, and the investors kept wanting to see CG everywhere.
Yeah. So, I mean, that would be my only nitpick, but I love the characters in this movie, and like I said, it really captures that nostalgia of, like, you know, the kids all going on this adventure together, and it also kind of, like, you know, brought me back when I lived in a really small military base in Fort Hunter Liggett, you know. My friends and I would make up our own adventures like that all the time, and that's probably why movies like that always have a special place in my heart, you know. We'd go on like, hikes because there was, like, 0 things to do when we lived there, so we'd just kind of make up our own adventures. You're giving me a weird look. I don't know why.
Are you fucking with me?
No.
Did you actually live on near or on a military base?
Yeah, did you not know this?
Why do you think we had this
Do
Do you not
conversation
know him
about
well?
him?
Like,
All
dear
right,
God,
all right.
I
Why do
swear
you
I
think
brought
I
up
told
Fort
you
Hunter
white
Liggett
trash?
to you guys
We'll
before.
discuss this later, but moving
Yeah.
on.
All right, so
I
anyways,
was
that is...
definitely aware.
I was like, wait.
I was aware.
I felt like you were referencing
I mean, to
movies.
be
Like,
fair,
wait.
we've known him for
No.
like
Yeah.
10 plus years.
Not,
That's true, we've
remember,
actually- Yeah.
not me. I've only known him for maybe
Wait,
3,
how
4.
long have we known each other?
Literally since Boy Scout...
Second grade?
Actually, technically since 4th grade, because I was in your class for a little bit.
What the hell?
Wow.
Silence
Sorry,
your
that
phone.
was-
Jesus, that was right next to
Oh,
the microphone.
yeah.
My goodness.
I don't.
The fuck?
I don't even know what the fuck that. That's my default ringtone.
Why the fuck
Yeah.
do I tell you every time we do our podcast to put your shit away? Shit
Listen,
like
I'm
that.
sorry.
Shit like that.
No, that's cool.
Alright.
Right
I'm just
on
glad
the
it wasn't on.
microphone.
I'm just glad it wasn't on my podcast.
Guys, we're half an hour in
yeah.
and we've only gotten 2 years. Let's go.
Yeah. But yeah, that's what I
Hey,
have to
2
say
years
about-
and a half an hour is really fast.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah, I think last time we spent like an hour on like one. I think.
Yeah,
Well, that was my fault because I spent like 30 minutes on how much I hated Transformers.
Yeah, and
give
he and I have a tendency to spend like literally 2.5 hours on a single anime. So
All right, we'll try and speed it up from here out. Let's go with 2012. Who wants to go first for this one?
Oh, I was freaked out for a minute.
Anyone? Okay, I'll go first for this one. I don't
Oh,
think.
now you don't
Wow.
want to go last.
Good job.
Hold on,
I
you know
figure-
what?
I figure
No,
I'll switch-
he wants to go first. I say Isaiah should go first.
All right, Isaiah, go
What the
first.
fuck are you doing? Why are you putting a black guy in there like this? Why the fuck would you do that?
Isaiah, just go.
Because
Let's
you're
go.
the only one with the
Isaiah, just go. Go. We believe in you.
2012 was Sinister.
I forgot that came out that year. That was a great movie.
I fucking love that movie.
That
That movie
I-
was legit.
Didn't see that on my list for some reason. But
Ah.
it still wouldn't have won for me, but shit, we're come real close. Second
Yeah.
or third place.
Yeah,
The other ones aren't very great, but this one was definitely good.
that one was actually
Wait, are there
that was actually a
more
scary
than
film,
one?
Yeah,
which is
there
something
was.
I
Yeah,
would barely.
there's at least like 3, right?
What? Are there
I,
actually
I'm
three
aware of
sisters?
3.
Yeah, there's
There's
this
2.
one.
Oh,
There's
two.
this one,
Two?
2 and 3.
There's not a
I-
third one. There's just 2.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
there's
thought
just
there were
2?
two.
Just 2.
Oh
Yeah.
shit, yeah.
I only know of 2. I saw 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Okay, I think it's
If
just
there was a
one.
third one, I would have seen it in theaters.
Sinister's not the one with the 9 Inch Nails guy, is it?
No, it's the one
No,
with
no,
the
no,
guy
it
that
is.
appears
Yeah, it
on
is.
No,
film.
it is the
Oh,
one
wait,
with the
9
Nine
Inch
Inch
Nails?
Nails guy.
Yeah,
Oh,
it
it
is.
is.
Yeah.
Okay.
The one with the mask. and
Wait,
all
are
that.
there
Or no, it's the one
I'm
that
looking
looks
it
like the. He's the one that looks like the guitarist for
Hold on, our
Slipknot.
fact checker.
Slipknot.
Yeah.
Fact checker, hold on.
Our
I
fact
think I'm
checker
only
is looking
seeing.
up.
I'm only seeing 2.
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
only
I think
2.
there were 2.
But-
Yeah, that's one of the
Only
ones I
2.
would have paid attention to because I love the first one. I liked the second one. I liked it more than most of the people we went with.
Yeah, I wasn't a
Yeah.
fan of the
I
second.
wasn't
To
really a
be
big fan.
completely honest, what ruined it for me is the entire thing looked like a Slipknot music video.
I think that's why I kind of liked it though, because
You
I was
see,
just like, dude,
this is why I'm against music existing.
what? Shut up.
Because it
Shut up.
ruins
Shut
otherwise
up.
amazing
Shut up.
horror
Stop.
movies for people.
Stop.
This is
Stop.
why I've never liked any music ever, and why I disagree
Stop.
with people listening to it.
Stop.
Okay.
You have small pee now. Stop.
Hey,
All
people
right,
swallow pieces,
we'll
talk
go
about
with Isaac next. What is your?
There honestly wasn't a lot I had for this year. I probably would put the best as Wreck-It Ralph.
Yeah.
Hey.
That was a fun film.
When they announced
film.
it, I was
It was
really
a surprising
worried.
film.
Yeah, I was really worried about it, like having
Being crap.
relying entirely on references and
Yeah,
stuff.
exactly.
Especially
like-
since the trailer had like Sonic and shit.
Yeah,
Like,
Yeah.
I was so glad that everything that actually mattered they made up.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's a good one.
I agree with that. Yeah.
It wasn't the second one like that though. Wasn't the second one like super nostalgic?
The
was
second
not-
one was more nostalgic,
I-
but they still.
The second one was more emoji movie how it should have
Well,
been.
no,
Yeah.
it's,
Yeah,
it's,
yeah,
No,
yeah.
how it should have been.
How it
That's
should've
true,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, how
And-
the most
should've
should have
been.
been.
And Disney flexing how many properties they own.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that too.
Even included the
Dude.
bit with Twitter being a flying bird.
Could you
No, I
imagine how much different that movie would have been, though? Because, yeah, like Megan said, it's Disney flexing how much they own. How much different it would have been if it was made this year with them owning Fox.
Yeah.
D, I'm not.
Oh, God. But
Honorable
anyways, yeah.
mentions to Brave, Iron Sky,
Oh, I
and
forgot Brave came out.
surprisingly, Hotel Transylvania was better than it should have
Wait,
Yeah.
Iron
Still
Sky.
Transylvania.
Wait, Iron Sky came out that year? Oh no,
Yeah.
I'm changing my answer. It's Iron Skies. Oh, that movie's a masterpiece, if anything.
It is. It is an actual masterpiece.
I've heard good
in
things
film.
about it, but I haven't seen it.
I want to force you to watch it,
is-
don't worry.
It
Oh,
is,
Lord.
I believe, an unironic masterpiece in
Okay.
irony.
Got it.
And I don't
Iron
mean that
Sky.
as a joke.
Do you mean it as a pun because it's Iron Sky?
I don't mean it as a pun either. It is
How
very
dare you not mean it as a
Yeah,
pun?
that
It
was
is
a
very
beautiful pun.
convenient as a pun, but I mean it unironically.
Okay.
All right. So, Megan, you're 2012.
All right, so I had a decent amount for 2012. I had to narrow it down to 3, but then of course I had to narrow it down to 1. But honorable mentions would be Skyfall. I really enjoyed that film
Damn, cold to my girl, man.
because that one there was a traffic jam in LA. Dad was like, "Hey, you want to go see Skyfall to avoid the traffic?" Me and my cousin were like, "Yeah, sure." We went to see it. Traffic was gone. It was great.
You can't avoid traffic in LA.
Wait, your commentary in Skyfall is that it was great because there was no traffic afterwards.
Does it really deserve to be on the list if that's the
What
case?
the fuck?
I don't know. It was one of the. I
You're
think it was
doing
the
my
first.
girl real dirty right now.
Your story's obviously fake. So you said there wasn't traffic in LA at one
There's
point.
always traffic.
Well,
in
no,
LA.
no, sorry. If I meant to say that there was traffic in LA, and to avoid said traffic, we decided to go see a movie because it would have taken.
Until
Yeah.
there wasn't traffic afterwards. Exactly. He's right. You're lying.
There's traffic 24/7. You don't avoid the traffic.
Don't you
There
know
could be
cars
light
don't
traffic.
actually exist in LA?
There might be traffic,
Everyone's
but
on
I
the
grew
smell.
up. I grew up in LA. I know how the traffic worked there. But yeah, no. So Skyfall, Hunger Games was honorable mention. I read the books.
You know who else grew up in LA? My mom.
All right.
I have a cousin
It's
who
funny
lives in LA.
because it's true. My mom did grow up in LA.
All right. Dark Knight Rises, Hobbit Part 1. I know everybody has their things about the Hobbit. I know. And also, I put down Wreck-It Ralph as well. Django Unchained.
Django Unchained was a close contender for me.
Yeah, no.
That
was
almost was my top one, but I couldn't remember if I had seen it or if I've just seen a shit ton of clips from it. So I
Yeah.
ultimately just didn't include it.
That was-
It's
that was my
it's on the
problem, too.
Voodoo though. If you want to actually watch it.
Yeah, that was my
Make
first.
sure you've seen it.
My first Quentin Tarantino film that I saw.
Hey,
In
okay,
full.
so-
In
that's
full.
that's the only really good Quentin Tarantino movie with absolutely no other like
All right.
addendums.
And
in my opinion.
then Avengers and 21 Jump Street. And 21 Jump Street was my film of that year. Nostalgic reasons as well. Me and my friend would watch it like
21 was
nonstop.
fun.
It was,
Yeah, it was a fun film. It's an easy, funny comedy. We watch it all the time. So that was my movie of the year.
Yeah, no, that movie's freaking hilarious.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I love
Yeah,
it.
the chemistry between Channing Tatum and Jonah Hill I don't know. It weirdly worked, and just the dynamics, the weird shit they got into.
I'm sorry, I can't hear Channing Tatum without thinking of the scene from BoJack Horseman. Hi, Channing Tatum.
Yeah.
All right, my 2012. It's so original. I bet you no one will ever think to put this on any top 10 list ever.
Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Avengers. Nah, I had to put this on my 2012, mostly because, okay, so we're going with enjoyment, not best. And the thing is, man, watching this movie in theaters and knowing that they were going to, when Iron Man came out, and that was the first time we ever got the hint for Avengers, I wanted to believe it was going to happen, but part of me knew we weren't going to actually get an Avengers movie. This isn't actually going to happen. And then Disney bought Marvel, and I'm like, yeah, this isn't going to happen. We're never getting an Avengers film, but Captain America came out. We got that after credit scene. And that after credit scene had a little teaser for us. And 2012, the Avengers movie came out, and I had the worry in the back of my head, oh God, what if this movie sucks? And you know what? All this movie had to do for me was not suck, and I would have been satisfied. And not only did this movie not suck, it was fucking awesome. I will watch the first Avengers movie anytime. And I'll say this too, and I know a lot of people out there are going to disagree with me on this, but I don't give a shit. Avengers 1 is probably the only Avengers movie that works just fine with no context. You could watch that movie without watching any of the build-up for it, and it's a fine standalone film as well.
That was the shawarma one, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I actually think probably all of the Avengers movies work like that.
I could not ever show anyone Endgame who has never seen a single Avengers film.
Oh,
A lot of people did.
So I keep forgetting Endgame
Even
exists
Infinity
because
War.
Endgame, as far as I'm concerned, isn't canon. I hate it that
All right,
much.
all right.
Yeah. Okay. Moving on. Let's go to your
Well, honestly, in
2012.
most instances, I would argue with him, but like, it's kind of a fair point at this point.
Okay.
Well, in it, they decanonize everything they've ever done.
This
So-
one doesn't.
Go to you for 2012.
we just
did
so-
2012.
he-
Wait, but you
Yeah,
did-
yeah,
yeah,
but
but you
done
went
by
first,
2012.
remember?
You went first.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, so last
So
time.
Alex is
Oh, well, go,
2012.
you ho.
So I have an honorable mention for what's probably my pick for the defining movie of the decade, Avengers. But that's just my honorable mention because it's not my pick for best movie or my favorite movie of 2012. Skyfall was. I'm not a huge James Bond fan. I like it mostly for the memes. I do think quite a few of them, specifically the Daniel Craig ones, are good. And Skyfall is probably one of my favorite movies ever.
So you agree with the person that liked Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2?
She didn't put it on her list, and she shit talked my girl. All right.
She
I
did
didn't
put it on.
I
She
didn't
did put
shit
it on
talk.
the
I
list.
put it as
She put
nostalgia
it-
because
no,
it was an
she
enjoyable
put-
film
She
to pass
put
the
it
time.
as an honorable mention. It's not on her list.
Hey, just
Deathly
so you
Hallows
know,
was
that
on her
was one of
list.
the three that I had to choose between. I had to choose between Skyfall, Hobbit
And
Part
you
1.
didn't choose it. And the other two you compared it with are two of my least favorite movies of all
Yeah,
time.
yours-
without any irony.
Yeah,
Okay.
your least favorite.
And she says they're on the level of Skyfall.
I bet when it comes around to 2019, you're going to have Endgame on your honorable mentions, or is your pick. And I'm going to disagree with you on that, too. But we'll get there. In the meantime, Skyfall was brilliant. It was beautiful. It was visually a feast. It was musically a masterpiece.
I love Adele.
There's a reason why it won the awards that year. It was just great in every way. I loved it.
Awesome.
So much.
Awesome. Isaac, it is your turn to finally go first for 2013. Yeah.
This was oddly one. I did not list a best movie of 2013. I have 3 honorable mentions.
Okay.
What?
I'm actually going to list my. I don't think I saw a lot of movies that year.
Oh.
I'm actually right now though. I'm going to list my favorite as Wolf of Wall Street.
That's
So-
actually a really fun movie. I love
I
it.
have yet to see it.
Enjoyed it a lot. It's
It's
a good
good
one.
ass
I haven't
movie.
seen.
Watch.
I haven't seen
Yeah.
the original, so I can't say how it compares.
Yeah.
But this one was good on its own.
I also have not seen the original, but think that this one was worth watching.
Yeah.
Honorable mentions
Yeah, I
to
agree.
the Wolverine and John dies at the end.
I haven't seen John Dies at the End, but the Wolverine was definitely a lot of fun.
John, I need to say a little bit about this one because it's just weird. John dies at the end. It's the reason it's weird. Because it's based on a book.
Yeah.
And it follows the book like word for word, but ignores the entire second half of the book. Which I initially it first came to mind like, oh, they must be like they were planning a sequel. But no, the end of the movie is the end of the book. They just cut out like the entire middle second part.
Jesus
Oh, boy.
fucking Christ.
What an
Why?
odd way
It's
to
a weird
do
way
that.
to do it.
All right.
Do we want to move to Megan next or Isaiah next? How do we want to do that?
Isaiah just started.
All right, we'll have Megan
Yeah,
go next then.
that's fine.
All right.
All right, I watched some movies in 2013, not a whole lot, but so for honorable mentions, Hunger Games 2, This Is the End, which I thought was hilarious, Pacific Rim, The World's End, and 12 Years a Slave. But my favorite, because I love Lord of the... I know Alex is going to hate this, but I loved Lord of the Rings and all that. I was really
Wait,
following...
what was her pick?
I'm getting
she hasn't got it to it yet. We're just laughing because after she said 12 years of slaving started.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
She really likes being reminded of the good times. Sorry, was that joke too dark?
Fuck you.
God damn it!
Oh my god.
Can we just get to my movie?
fucking
bad.
please?
I love it.
Yeah,
That was
Alex, you're gonna
fun.
hate me for this.
All right.
But I liked Hobbit: The Desolation of Smaug. I love Benedict Cumberbatch and Martin Freeman. Their chemistry from Sherlock, I thought did really well. All the Smaug. Yeah. Just, I loved the middle part. Just obviously with Benedict Cumberbatch as Smaug, and I don't know. I just remember following all the production diaries that Peter Jackson did on his YouTube channel and getting really hyped for it and stuff. I was in the middle of reading it and then finding out like later on in the future for my senior English class, it was myth and fantasy. We read The Hobbit and all that stuff. So, Hobbit 2 was my favorite of 2013.
All right. My favorite of 2013, and I'm pretty sure you guys aren't going to be too surprised by this, but The World's End, and do not get it confused with This Is the End. They are two different movies. This Is the End is the stoner one with Seth Rogen, and it's a funny movie. I like it. But The World's End,
Is the drunk
fucking
one.
love. Yeah, it's the beer one.
There's the
It is-
stoner one
and
and
the
the
drunk
drunk
comedy.
It is weird how like
They both-
similar they
yeah.
both are. It's
Well,
like what the
like
fuck?
plot-wise, they're very different, but
No,
they
I
both
mean,
have
no,
like
no.
Wait,
they both.
actually, are they meta-wise? They're not.
Yeah.
Meta-narratively, they're almost the same movie.
Well, they're about the
Yeah.
end of the world.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah,
No,
that
they're
is correct.
about
They're-
a bunch of friends who
they're-
want to go out and party and do
Yeah.
stuff,
They're-
and then the world ends and they have to survive.
yeah,
like,
that's literally the
Well,
meta-narrative
God
is,
takes
is
all the good
very
people
similar.
up to
Fair
heaven
enough.
and stuff.
Well, yeah,
But-
no, there's
That's
like,
not actually
well, yeah,
meta-narrative.
yeah, there's
That's
like little,
actually just subtext in the narrative.
yeah, there's little stuff, but like the
I mean,
overall
that's fair
system-
enough. But like, God, The World's End, everything about it is amazing. Like, even the characters that get killed off, like, are they're detailed enough to where it's like you do somewhat care when they die, but not too detailed to where like will steal from the show. They'll steal from like the two characters that you're actually really supposed to care about, which is Ed and Gary King. Gary King is the biggest fucking asshole, and you hate him throughout the movie, but you also hate the fact that you enjoy watching him on screen because he's so much fun to watch, you know? And then Ed is like that, the one like kind of character I could say it actually feels like he's a realistic character put into like the most fucked up situation ever with these other characters, and it's so great. Everything about The World's End is an amazing fucking film. And I love how it takes the end of the world for Gary King to get over alcoholism. Because that's how powerful alcoholism can be for some people. It can fuck you up, and it'll take the end of the world to get you to finally come over it.
Hey man, when your life flashes before your eyes,
Yeah.
aliens
It'll
that
change your
want
world.
to take over the world,
Oh,
and you're drinking beer.
God,
like,
and here's the
sometimes
other-
it does that.
The only thing I would have done different with this film, quick honorable mention I want to say about the film that could have made it slightly better, is back when I used to watch a lot of Spill.com, back when Spill.com was a thing, one of their reviews was of The World's End. They mentioned that I think it was Cyrus. He mentioned that he actually didn't see the trailer for this movie, so he went into the movie thinking that this was actually a film about bar hopping, and that was it. Until the aliens show up, because it doesn't happen until halfway through. I kind of wish, marketing-wise, that's how they advertised the film. Because then, yeah, no one would have seen, like, the weird stuff coming at all. And it would have been the perfect... It would have been like, Sorry to Bother You. Like, when it makes that out-of-nowhere left turn.
Ah!
I haven't
No!
seen that. I really want to.
Shit.
No.
Shit, I'm so sorry. Okay.
Not just for him, but for the audience. That's one movie you just shouldn't.
Okay, fine.
Movies with significant spoilers that were made after the year 2015, you probably shouldn't spoil.
Okay, fine. Then I will not say anything about it after that. Sorry for those of you watching
If it hasn't
who haven't
made
seen
it
it.
cycle through Netflix, it shouldn't be spoiled.
It made a cycle through Hulu, though.
Yeah, it's on Hulu.
Oh, I need to watch it.
Not,
No, when
not
it-
everyone has Hulu. Netflix is the one. That
I get,
gets away from cycle.
Okay.
I get where he's coming
Everyone
from.
has
Okay.
Netflix. Hulu, no one gives a shit about.
Anyways,
I like
World's End is it is literally my second favorite comedy of all time. I'm actually going to go that far and say it is my second
Where's
favorite
your
comedy.
favorite movies list of all time?
Huh?
Where's on your favorite movies list? Just
It
to
would
know.
definitely be on my top 20. I think maybe my top 10.
What's your
I
favorite,
can't. Huh?
What's your favorite comedy of all time?
Back to the Future. Duh.
Okay, fair.
Or-
Not Airplane.
No, Back to the Future all the way. Airplane's great. It would be in my top 10.
Airplane's my favorite.
Yeah.
I love Airplane.
All right. Sorry, I ranted about this way longer than I should have. Alex, what is your 2013 pick?
My 2013 pick, and I need to make something very clear. My honorable mention is, by many metrics, a better film, or a more moving film, but I still don't think it actually is better at what it's trying to do. And probably one of my top 3 favorite movies of all time, certainly. Sometimes it's my number 1, sometimes it's my number 2, and occasionally it's my number 3. Pacific Rim is my movie of 2013.
The only movie I've apologized to people for recommending to them.
I think that is a criminal shame, and that you should feel bad for doing that. Because
I do feel bad for recommending it.
No, you should feel bad for feeling bad for recommending it. It's an unapologetic movie in how joyful it is. It's a celebration of mecha culture and the best of what a fantastic filmmaker can do when he gets to play in his sandbox and make whatever sandcastle he wants. I absolutely love the child's fantasy come to life of Pacific Rim. And I mean that quite literally. It was his fantasy to create it as a child, and it was his personal pet project that he wanted to do if he ever was able to.
Have you seen his manga collection? It's
I have, yeah.
insane.
I know.
That's a dark fantasy to have as a kid.
Dude, that's every kid. Any kid who
so.
grew up with Godzilla or any kind of like just anything Toku related like that. Yeah, that's the kind of fantasies they're gonna have.
It was both the best of the kaiju movie, like universe, everything, and the best of the mecha universe, and we still, other than it, haven't gotten a good mecha movie today, and I'm including its sequel in that. To this day, I don't think we've had a truly great mecha movie other than Pacific Rim 1.
Just clarification for the audience, the reason my opinion changed on it, I originally saw it at the Metreon in IMAX.
Yeah, same.
Okay.
I do highly recommend it in IMAX.
In format wise, it's best to view it on the biggest
I wish
screen
I
you
did.
got.
I will say this, I do agree with him. It loses a lot of what makes it so grand without some form of scale. If you can watch this with surround sound pretty high, and I don't mean you're high, I mean the surround sound is high.
I know what you meant.
High volume. Some people wouldn't, because some people think that this is a good movie to watch while high because of its colors.
If
And while
anything,
it
it's
might-
better to
I
watch
disagree with that.
drunk, not
Yeah.
high.
Oh God! If I watched that movie high, I'd be terrified.
Yeah, no,
I'd have
I'd say
existential
it's
crisis all
more of
over
a
the place.
drinking film. Don't
It's a
watch-
movie
don't
while
watch
you're
it high.
on meth.
Anyways,
Yeah.
I do recommend it, especially if you have a VR headset and some good headphones. This is the movie to watch in theater mode on that. It may even benefit slightly from whatever headset you use having slightly lower actual resolution, or being able to see pixels more, because its heavy use of CG, while beautiful, at least in my 4K version, you can tell parts of it are CG, and it's a little bit distracting at the beginning. It's way less distracting when it gets more stylized later on, when all the reds and blues start popping out. But early on, when it's in its realistic aesthetic, it can be a little bit distracting on a high resolution screen, but it would be much less so on a VR screen.
It does include both Gladys and the remade slivers from Magic the Gathering.
And we mean the actual literal GLaDOS too, not figuratively. Not
And
the voice of actual GLaDOS is in this film.
And I mean figuratively for the slivers.
Yeah, slivers.
But like the design for things very late in the movie look exactly like some of the slivers from that were in the newer Magic the Gathering.
But the AI in the ship is actually GLaDOS canonically. It's in the credits.
So we'll move on. Wait, I forgot. You went for 2013, right?
Not yet.
Oh wait, no wait.
It started
sorry.
with me.
Yeah.
Oh, it started with
That's
you.
what
Oh,
I said.
So it
sorry.
ends with
I'm
us,
sorry.
yeah.
I'm sorry. It ends with you. My bad.
You keep
Sorry.
forgetting the ending.
I do. I'm sorry.
Am I a joke to you?
Yes.
Don't.
Everyone's a
don't.
joke to me. Everyone's beneath me, all right?
Mine's
You're many
Man,
things to me.
And
The
I
joke is
just
one.
mentioned 12 Years a Slave. You can't be talking about black people being beneath you, dude.
I'm saying
Okay?
everyone, not just.
Yeah, but it's
They're
in
not
the
beneath
context-
you.
It's in
They're
the
not
context-
beneath you. They're in front of you.
And I'm
in
saying
the field.
everyone.
She's already put him down enough.
I'm saying everyone
Christ.
specifically because I'm on the highest chair right now. So literally everyone is beneath me, not figuratively.
Oh, so you
figuratively, I'm on the same level
Oh,
as
so you're just
everyone.
looking down on all the black people.
Oh, you
Mine's,
think you're as good as me?
Wait, what? No, mine's the same. Wait, no. Yeah, Wolf of Wall Street. Yeah, no.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, so
I forgot what I picked for a second.
I did too. I was like, wait, what did you pick? Well, yeah, mine was Wolf of Wall Street. Good
All
movie.
right.
I liked it. I want to have that same energy as Leonardo DiCaprio.
Just need some- That's all you need, dude.
Not that type of energy.
The masturbating more, the pump up those numbers.
Yeah.
Great movie. All right, so now we move on to 2014, and I will be the one to start this one off. My 2014 pick, again, much like my 2013 pick, this actually would definitely fit somewhere in my top 20 films of all time. Definitely Whiplash, man. This movie,
need to see that.
I fucking
It's
love
pretty
it.
good.
Not only is it really intense, like all the way through, it literally has probably one of my all-time favorite endings in any film ever. It is a fucking masterpiece through and through. I love it.
Yeah, it's
Probably the
pretty good.
movie I've
Yeah, that
quoted
shit's a
the
good
most
movie.
despite having never seen.
That shit's a good ass.
I'm upset!
I know, and the memes, man. The memes that came from it are great. J.K. Simmons is fucking terrifying in this film, and I love him all the way through.
Yeah, it was an alright movie.
And the scariest thing about J.K. Simmons is that people like that really can have an effect on people in real life, because the way he is scary is that you also kind of want to beat him. So he does the perfect job of insulting you, getting you to like want to prove him wrong and want to build yourself up, and he knows that, and that's what he takes advantage of. Oh, Whiplash is amazing.
I would like to go next, mainly because I think I actually left a note hanging last time.
Uh-huh.
I was talking about how another movie was technically better. Did I mention what movie that was?
Oh, wait, no, you
Wind
didn't.
Rises,
Oh.
right?
No.
No, he didn't. We
I
kept
think-
talking about Pacific
Yeah,
Rim.
I think
Oh,
we
yeah.
kept talking about Pacific Rim.
All right.
I meant to give a really, really good honorable mention to The Wind Rises.
Yeah.
My secondary choice for 2013. Fantastic and beautiful and hugely affecting. Yeah.
I'm going to say that that's definitely my honorable mention because I saw it in 2014 of January, I think. I swear I remember it coming out in 2014. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's how I remember seeing it. It was in 2014, I'm pretty sure. And it was definitely my movie of the year for the longest time until December when I finally saw Whiplash. And then that's when I'm like, okay, no, this is like one of the greatest films I've ever seen. But yeah, definitely, I would agree with you there. Honorable mention to Wind Rises.
Yeah. And then other than that, this was the single year I had the hardest time on by a good margin. Whiplash doesn't make my top 10 on the year, I don't think. Okay, maybe that's a lie. Doesn't make my top 5 though, definitely. Because I think 3 films are much better than it for different reasons. John Wick is an honorable mention. I just don't give much of a shit about the third act, honestly. But the first 2 acts are almost good enough to completely erase that from mattering to me and almost making my number 1. Second honorable mention, Guardians of the Galaxy. A fantastic movie, but it also has about over a third of it that's really weak. The main villain is a really poorly done villain, especially since it could have been a really threatening, really affecting villain if it had been done right, or an interesting to contemplate villain that would have made for better world building if it had more of a tie-in to, oddly enough, Captain Marvel of all things. But it didn't, and that's a shame. So my number 1 pick for 2014 is Edge of Tomorrow. In my mind, it is one of the only perfect movies I've ever seen. It's great. It does what it wants to do better than anything else so far. I have very few problems with it, which is extraordinary because it's a time movie. In fact, I think one of my other honorable mentions, I think for 2011 should have been Looper, another time movie that I thought was executed excellently.
Yeah, I liked Looper.
Yeah. But as it is, Edge of Tomorrow, I especially want to actually highlight that Looper was good because later I'm going to be shitting on its director. Yeah, Edge of Tomorrow, it was great. It was fantastic. It was nearly perfect, and it gave me a star I didn't know I wanted to see in action movies still, and made me love him again.
Oh, Tom Cruise?
Tom Cruise.
Mm-hmm.
And
Dude's like in his 50s. He's kicking ass.
yeah, he's like 56 now?
Oh,
Or, yeah.
he's in his
Something
mid
like
or late
that.
50s,
Like,
yeah.
he's ridiculous. But beyond that, it also promoted one of my favorite at the time. I felt like she was a rising star. I think she's definitely well established now. Emily Blunt.
Oh, she's adorable. I love her.
Yeah,
so
she's great.
cool.
And at the time, I don't think she had a real foot into the action scene. But this showed that she should have the whole time. Yeah, I
Awesome.
love this movie.
Yeah,
great
I have
film.
yet to see that. I've heard good things about it.
It's
Yeah,
on the
I've yet
Vudu.
Oh, you do? You
It
have
is.
you have it on Vudu.
Yeah.
I feel like we're gonna get.
Anything I say
Alright.
is in my
Is
top
it-
10 movies of all time.
it's
is
gonna
in
be in your
Vudu,
Vudu. Alright.
And this might be in my top 10 movies of all time.
All right.
I feel like
I'll look
we-
into it. Yeah.
I feel like we're gonna hear a lot of that tonight. It's in the video.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
probably.
All right.
Weird note, I think almost
Oh.
all of my top 10 movies of all time came out this decade.
For those of you guys who have stuck around for this long,
Why?
let's do a drinking game and have a shot anytime he says it's on my voodoo.
Let's do another drinking game. Take a shot every time I say a black
Okay,
joke.
okay. Actually, we've missed like 30 movies that were on my Vudu then.
Oh.
Unironically,
Yeah.
most of the ones she's
It's
listed.
not if they're on your voodoo. It's just if you say it's on
Yeah,
your
Okay.
voodoo.
just
Yeah.
when you say it.
Okay, but now that I know that that's a part of the
Yeah, I
drinking
know.
game, I'm going to be saying it every time a movie is mentioned that's on the Vudu.
Do not drive
So,
after you play
Guardians
this
of the
game,
Galaxy,
please.
which was one of my
Okay,
honorable mentions.
we'll do that
No,
later.
no,
We'll do
no,
it later.
no,
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 no, no.
John
It's too
Cena.
late.
No,
It's too late. It's too late.
no,
We're
no,
done.
you.
All right.
No.
Isaiah, go.
No, do it.
Whiplash was
right.
mine.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's on the Vudu.
Okay.
Come on,
It
man.
is.
Yeah,
Yeah, but you already said that.
It's on mine
No,
too.
I didn't say Whiplash was on the Vudu.
I feel like you did.
Oh.
I didn't.
He didn't say it for Whiplash.
That
didn't
it still
say
felt
Whiplash.
it still feels forced.
Well, guess
Alright.
what? It's true.
All right.
Don't
that's-
don't
and
force
also,
it.
and also, that's what she said.
All right.
To be fair,
Take a
it's
drink
not-
every time Stuart says a dirty joke.
Take
To
a
be
drink
fair,
every.
you started that one.
Take a drink every time someone says take a drink. Jesus Christ.
You started the That's What She Said earlier. He called you out for making 2010 jokes.
Take a drink every time Alex Bugfang corrects me.
I wasn't correcting you. I was
Yeah, you were.
Okay.
educating you.
All right. You're just gonna play that every time. That's great.
Oh,
Anyways,
we can get copyrighted.
no, we're not.
You cannot be copyrighted for a less than 1 second
Yes, you
long
can.
clip.
Yes, you can.
No, you
No, you
weirdly,
can't.
you weirdly sometimes
You
can.
No,
literally-
no, you
legally
no,
cannot.
you can. You can.
You legally cannot.
You
I
can.
know,
I
but-
have.
How this?
I
How
have.
this? If we get copyrighted for doing that, I will defend us in court. In law.
I'm not taking it to
Alright.
court.
That's not a very good promise. You can't get copyrighted when no one listens to
No,
you.
but then you guys
That's
can
also
have
a
a
good
lot
one.
of fun watching me try and argue in court.
All right. All right.
I don't want that.
Moving on.
Yeah, I don't want
Yours
that.
is Whiplash. What about you? 2014.
Okay, for 2014, a dishonorable mention to the nut job that didn't need to exist. And then it got sequels.
Hey,
It all got one.
I actually liked the
Hey,
gigantic
I actually kind of like the first nut job.
The first nut job was actually kind of
It was
good.
all right.
I will
It
watch.
wasn't good. It was all right.
I will watch the Nut Job 1,000 times over before watching another episode of the Nut Shack, though.
Fair.
Fair enough.
I'll watch the nut job before I watch the
If I'm
intro
high
to the
enough, I
Nut
might
Shack.
watch an episode of the Nut Shack.
I'll watch the nut job multiple times
Ooh,
before I
golden
watch
cookie.
the intro to the Nut Shack. It's
the-
not. Shut the fuck up.
Jesus Christ!
I'm with them.
It's not a dishonorable mention, but it's not an honorable mention either. I just wanted to bring up Tusk that came out that year.
Oh,
I enjoyed that movie. It's the only movie by that guy I think I like.
I liked Yoga Hosers more.
I haven't seen Yoga.
Actually, weirdly enough,
It's still not great, but it's okay.
I'm a huge Kevin Smith fan, and I haven't seen Yoga Hosers. I probably should.
I hate Kevin Smith.
Funny thing,
doesn't
the only
make a
reason
lot
I
of
saw
good
Yoga
things.
Hosers.
None of you are
Is-
calling me out on the joke. I keep saying I hate things to see if you guys notice, and no one's called me
We're
out
just
on
used to it.
Also,
Yeah,
I don't
we're used
completely
to it.
agree with you. I only like.
Alright, well, I dislike him, and I dislike his filmography.
Okay, whatever.
Okay,
that's
that's not an unpopular opinion.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the funny
It's
thing
a
though is I only
unpopular
saw
thing to
Yoga
dislike
Hosers
him.
because
Is
when I
It
worked
kinda
at the
is.
theater,
Everyone
like
has their own taste.
to get guest passes, we would just say, "Oh, I'm going to see this movie here." One day was someone brought up seeing Yoga Hosers, and I just kind of went with it. And then I'm like, I should probably see it just so I have. I didn't see it that day, so if you could call me that one, but I eventually saw it just because of that. Honorable mention: Canteen Floss came out that year. It was really good. It's oddly short. It's only 43 minutes. Chef was fantastic.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Also, oddly, only 55 minutes.
That
not-
does deserve honorable
I'm not gonna
mentions.
lie. With all the chef memes, I thought it was gonna be super trash. So I came in with so low expectations. I'm like, this is a surprisingly good movie.
It was actually.
Dude,
Yeah.
you will be starving after you watch that movie. That's what
Oh
I'm
no, I
saying.
definitely ate some shit. after I was done.
Babadook is an honorable mention. It's actually one of my favorite horror movies of all time.
I forgot that came out. Yeah.
Lego Movie was fantastic.
Yes.
Lego Movie was fantastic.
That 2014 had one of
Yeah.
the best scenes in movies in general. The Quicksilver scene from X-Men: Days of Future Past.
Yeah.
Just
Just the scene. I
Just
honestly,
the Quicksilver scene.
I can barely remember the rest of the movie, but that scene was fantastic. Actual best movie, John Wick. It's my favorite action movie, which is kind of funny because my favorite movie.
Fantastic movie.
My favorite movie of all time is an action movie, but it's not my favorite action movie.
Okay, I see what you mean by that. Yeah.
Like it's my favorite movie for like a lot of other reasons.
The fuck? Okay.
But John Wick, 2014, super high action, loved it. It's fantastic.
All
And
right.
Keanu Reeves kicks ass.
Keanu
Yeah.
Reeves kicks ass.
Also in his like mid to late 50s and kicking ass.
Defending a dog.
All right.
Best reason for me to get
imagine
behind.
a movie,
yeah.
Imagine a movie with Keanu Reeves and Tom Cruise.
Oh my god.
I kind of want to see that.
That sounds expensive.
It
Yeah,
sounds-
that
Very
hey, if anyone can do it, Disney can.
Oh, yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
Disney has that kind of money. All right, Megan.
All right, my 2014, I watched a decent amount of movies as well. And to keep going on with the trend, my honorable mentions also include, like, just The Hobbit the previous 2 years. Hobbit 3 as well. I mean, it was the weaker one for me out of the three, but I still enjoyed it
It
nonetheless.
has Legolas literally flying.
Well, yes, he's defying physics, but it's a fantasy movie. It is fictional. So,
Hey, neither of those are excuses for breaking physics. Funny
Alright.
thing.
And to be fair, in fantasy, they do at least give a reason for why things work.
well, and also elves are light on their feet. That's why in
That
the
doesn't
Lord
mean you
of the
fly.
Rings.
Guess what
They're-
Lightfoot doesn't enable you to do.
All right, we'll move on.
And then keeping up with the Hunger
To the
Games as
Hobbit
well.
or
I
maybe
watched the Hunger Games, Mockingjay, and then X-Men: Days of Future Past. I really liked.
Yeah.
That Hunger Games had great credit music. I never saw the movie, but
Oh, come on, man.
Okay, I
honestly love the music during the
would
credits. I was
like
really
to give a posthumous honorable mention. What? God.
That
what
one had
did you
Yellow
say?
Flicker
Why
Beat,
am I
right?
blanking now?
Hunger
What
Games?
is Hunger Games
No,
Mocking?
no.
that was the one that had Yellow Flicker Beat and Hanging Tree, right?
I don't remember.
Wait, what's the one you said after those?
The one X-Men: Days of Future Past.
Yeah.
There you go.
Today's the Future Past.
Yeah, that was a great
so
movie.
close to being my top pick, actually.
Yeah,
Oh,
and then
okay.
the second Planet of the Apes film, which I think is my favorite out of the three. And then Winter Soldier.
Winter Soldier was awesome.
It deviated from the rest of the film, sort of a nice like spy thriller kind of thing, which I'm pretty sure other people mentioned before. I really liked that. Whiplash as well, Lego Movie as well, Chef as well. I didn't get introduced to Chef until Stuart showed me it, and I absolutely loved it. I always make that pasta all the goddamn time. It's delicious. And then How to Train Your Dragon 2, because
True. That
Oh yeah, that should have been.
that
on my list.
deserves a
Yeah,
hardcore.
yeah,
honorable
I
mention,
love-
yeah.
It doesn't beat out
story.
John Wick for me, but it should
I
have been on my
loved
list.
the story. I loved Kit Harington as one of the characters. That was great. And then It Follows. I thought it was a very interesting horror film. I showed it to my cousin. She got scared shitless out of it. It was very fun. Big Hero 6.
I
Big Hero
considered
6 was
that.
really good.
I
Yeah.
considered Big Hero 6.
Yeah, no, I loved Big Hero 6. And then John Wick as well. This is such a funny premise, just to go to all the lengths to defend his dead wife, his dog, his car, and his home.
Yeah, man.
I
What a
also just
fun
love the
lengths.
points like, what did I do wrong? It was John Wick.
Oh.
Yeah, man.
Those were the greatest.
What a funny premise that someone gets mad and angry because their wife and dog died. So
And-
funny.
weird.
And their,
Well, I mean-
and their house burns down.
funny.
You know.
So-
I'm gonna
right.
capitalize before you say your number one pick. I'm gonna capitalize on that and say it was great. The way they advertised in the trailers is they killed my dog. I'm going after them. It wasn't until you see the movie where you're like,
there's
you
actual-
realize
Yeah, that
what
was-
the
yeah.
dog represented to
There
him,
was
and
a
you're
lot
like,
more than it just being a dog.
Honestly,
I'm not
yeah.
gonna lie,
I
I get
think
behind the guy
yeah.
getting revenge for someone killing their
yeah,
dog.
I think everyone can relate to that. It's like I'd fucking go on a rampage for my dog.
Man, you
Yeah.
guys are making me
But
want
it sounded
change
funny,
my
though.
top pick because now I'm just remembering the movie and God, it's so fucking good.
It really is.
It
All right.
really is.
All right, go ahead and
And
say
then
your
my
number
last
one.
honorable mention was Kingsman, the first Kingsman.
Yeah.
That was a good
That
one.
was
fun.
also
That was
really
a
fun.
that was a
Love
really
it.
fun
That was
movie.
really good cinematography wise.
Absolutely, yeah.
God, yeah.
I love,
Sorry.
yeah. Vince Vaughn, I believe that was the director.
And he wants to do Marvel movies, and I really hope he gets to do Fantastic
And I love
Four.
Taron Egerton. He's a beauty. And then my pick of that year was Guardians of the Galaxy. To me, it was a big surprise. Other people, of course, have their own opinions. But for me, Guardians of the Galaxy was just a fun action heist film.
100%.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And I
went
love
in-
the music. Holy shit.
A great soundtrack.
A great,
Legit good
amazing soundtrack.
yeah.
I listened to that soundtrack
Maybe
for like a good couple of months after the film
maybe
came
straight
out.
up
It
my
was great.
favorite soundtrack in films.
I went into that movie expecting to hate it, and I fucking loved it.
Yeah, some weird ragtag group of like guys, rogues, thieves, assassins, the fucking raccoon. You know, just for some reason, yeah, Disney / Marvel took the like sort of risk to try to put sort of a semi-unknown Marvel group into cinemas, and somehow it worked. And they made Chris Pratt, who was kind of a chubby comedian from Parks and Rec, into a total beefcake.
Mm-hmm.
Dude,
And-
into maybe the second place of.
Beefcakes.
Oh,
What?
no.
No?
Does Disney have?
I was gonna say I don't agree with second place for that.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
not
second
of
place
the
of what?
beefcakes, just of that name.
Oh, Chris's.
Chris.
Oh, like Chris's.
Yeah, of the
okay.
Chris's.
Yeah,
Does
okay.
I
Marvel
mean,
have a-
no one will ever beat Hemsworth for me. but
Does
Okay.
Does Marvel have a monopoly on Chris's?
I
Not Pine.
hold on.
Not Pine.
They are
Huh?
one away.
Pine.
Once they
Chris
got
Pine.
Pine, which is rumored that he might be working on a project with them soon.
Because he's
They'll have completed the Chris Gauntlet.
Then they will have completed.
No, they need
They
to-
will. They'll have the Infinity Gauntlet of
The
Chris.
Infinity
No,
Chris.
you would need
He was
five.
in a
So who's-
recent
So,
Disney
Chris
movie
Evans,
where
Chris
he was
Pratt.
I believe he
That's
played
the
a
three
Coast
No, yeah,
Guard.
so nine of them.
Six gems.
He played a Coast Guard in
Oh,
a
yeah.
Disney movie
Well, invent
recently,
Chris.
I think.
But was it a Marvel movie?
No, definitely
you
not.
go.
It wasn't Marvel or
Chris-
Star Wars now.
So we need.
No. He can stay
Right.
out.
Who wants to?
Why you hating on Chris Rock?
Hang on. Has anyone not gone first yet?
No?
Everyone's
we all-
gone first.
Yeah.
All right, then we'll start where we began with ladies first. So if you want to,
That's sexist.
so if you want to go
What the
next,
fuck, man?
yeah.
All right.
Wow.
All right, 2015.
But you can't stay that for yourself.
I think 2015 was actually a great year. That's when I
fucking
started
love
like
that.
getting into like movies and sort of not like meanly nitpick, but to like notice all the small little details, the effort that the cat or the crew went through to like put everything on screen and make everything really nice and to put effort in. I started to notice those things. So that's why I have a bunch more movies from here on out on my honorable mentions. So starting off in 2015, honorable mentions would be Inside Out.
Yeah.
That was great. That was.
Oh,
great.
I hardcore cried when she says that she's sorry. Oh my god, that made my heartstrings go. And then The Martian, I thought was a great film. I started reading the book, but I didn't finish it. But I absolutely loved Matt Damon.
I love The Martian.
Oh yeah, no, that was great. And Mad Max Fury Road, just the aesthetic and all of that. Again, all the effort that went into it was
Yep.
well paid off, honestly.
True that.
All the rest of it took, yeah. Ant-Man was a fun surprise as well. I like Edgar Wright as well, and his way of movie
Really
making.
enjoyable. Probably my
Yeah.
favorite of the Thomas the Tank Engine movies.
Although I'm gonna be
Probably.
a dick for just a moment and correct you. Edgar
There
Wright
are
didn't
others.
direct it.
Oh yeah, shit, that's
He
right.
got
Yeah, he
kicked out.
left. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right, he left. But there was elements of his
Yeah, there definitely
movie making
were.
style,
So
and his
they
stuff.
say.
Why do you think it's appropriate to correct women, Stuart?
I fucking
It's
hate
current year on the internet.
Yeah, I'm totally.
We're gonna end up
Just
on live stream
so-
fails because of you.
Just a quick,
Stewie canceled
just a quick thing.
before he started.
Just a quick thing. Saying 2020 doesn't have a good of ring as saying either like it's 2019 or it's 2018. It's 2020.
It's 2020.
It doesn't have a good ring.
I mean, it's because it's a
2020.
news show tonight on 2020.
Okay, that's a good point.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah,
Okay.
good.
Peanuts film.
Next year, 60 minutes.
I watched. I loved Snoopy and Charlie Brown as a kid, so I really enjoyed the Peanuts movie with different art style, more a little 3D, but still 2D in a way. Then The Revenant, I thought it was really good, and then The Big Short was one of my favorite ones. Taught me all about the housing crisis that went through.
Revenant was a good movie.
Because apparently my dad, he used to work for a mortgage company, and he claims he backed out and knew that it was going to happen. So he dipped right before that all went to shit.
I'll say this.
It's funny enough. That's when I moved here, up north of San Francisco, during that whole thing. So that was a fun movie to learn through. And I went with my dad, and he showed me all the things. Like there was a photo of a gentleman getting into a limo who was being arrested. And my dad pointed out, hey, that's my old boss.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm like, oh Lord.
I will say this. Revenant was a good movie. Leonardo DiCaprio did not deserve an Oscar for that one, man.
Really? You don't think so?
I
See?
feel like
I agree 100%.
I'll say this:
Yeah.
effort-wise, that he definitely put more effort into that than he did in most roles.
He ate raw
but
meat.
it didn't.
Deserve it.
It definitely didn't. It definitely wasn't his best performance.
Yeah.
He ate raw
definitely,
meat.
yeah, he definitely put in the
Yeah.
most effort
And he
though
was
for
in
it.
legit
I-
cold.
yeah.
I get that.
But that
like,
doesn't mean he deserves
Oh, yeah,
it.
he
I
put the
definitely
most
agree.
effort, but as
Okay.
terms of performance.
Yeah.
So we're talking about 2015, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she hasn't
So-
said. But her.
Yeah,
she's
she
not-
hasn't.
I know, but we're just saying, if anyone deserved it that year, I think there was an actual woman lead that deserved it that year. Furiosa from Mad Max.
Charlie's. I don't know. I
From
could
Mad
look
Max
up
Fury Road.
the awards winners later, but yeah, my all time is Star Wars: Force Awakens because that was when I started working in movie theaters. That's when I met Stuart here, lovely boyfriend and all. That was our first date and all that. So there's some sort of nostalgia and just sort of sentimental reason why I
nostalgia.
like it.
And it's the best Star Wars movie of all time.
What year are we on?
I wouldn't say that.
That came out in 2015?
I would-
Yes,
Yeah.
it came out in December
Yeah.
2015.
Yeah.
I'm old.
Look at my 2015
Bitch,
list.
you ain't old. No. You are the
Bitch,
youngest
you
one
think
out of
you're
this
old?
group.
Think you're
Yeah.
old? You know what
Oh,
wasn't
You-
even?
Yeah.
You know
Bitch, you
what
are.
wasn't even in all of the 2010s? The original Spider-Man Sam Raimi trilogy.
Stop!
You know what ended in the early 2010s? Harry Potter, like you said.
Yeah.
All right.
You know what also wasn't in in any of these?
Don't do it, please.
The original Harry Potter.
Oh.
Oh, shoot.
In fact, Deathly Hallows is where it starts for 2010.
Hey guys, you know it wasn't even in the year 2000?
Wait, was that the Hallows
Wizard
in
of Oz?
2010?
Oh.
Yeah.
No, was it 2010?
No, I thought it was 2009.
No, it was 2010.
Which,
Well, the
Deathly
second.
Hallows?
Deathly Hallows was 2010.
Oh,
Two.
sorry. No, you're right. Yeah, Deathly Hallows Part 1 and Part 2. Words, yeah.
2010 and 2011.
I for some reason, I was thinking six.
All right, move on to Fen Hotsause.
Okay, 2015. Dishonorable mention, Fant Four Stick.
Yes, that's
I'm
more than
glad
fair.
I still haven't seen it. So.
Dishonorable mention, Ted 2, but with a note, it had the best joke I've seen in most movies.
Is
I
this
know what you're talking about,
Which,
and I agree.
Which joke is this?
What joke is
Very specifically,
The-
he's working at in the supermarket, and Liam Neeson brings up the box of tricks.
That's right.
And this is just the setup for the joke. He goes on about, like, if is anyone going to come after me because they say tricks is for kids, am I allowed to buy this? And, like, that was just like, oh, that's kind of odd. And that's, like, in the beginning of the movie. An after credit scene.
The post credits.
He comes in, clothes ripped to shreds,
Dirt everywhere.
dirt everywhere, carrying the box, limps up to the counter, slams it down angrily, and walks away.
the fuck?
Pointedly staring at the clerk.
It was
You know what's
fantastic.
As if
You
the
know what's
clerk
disappointing?
didn't let him know.
You know what's disappointing? I had to watch it again because when I first watched it, I was so like, oh man, I was kind of looking forward to this. I didn't see that end credit scene.
It
so I was like,
needs the
God,
timing, too, because by that point, you've kind of forgotten the
Yeah,
setup.
exactly.
Yeah.
So it's just so much better. Okay,
So
anyway.
totally deleted scene.
Yeah, I actually agree. It's like one of my two favorite jokes in anything ever.
It was a great joke with like in a terrible film, sadly.
Yeah.
Dishonorable mention to Pixels, but at the same time, it had Max Headroom, and I really liked that. Including Matt Frewer, the original voice of Max Headroom, or the original actor for Max Headroom, because it wasn't him.
Pixels only gives me one memory of someone giving me gifting me a shirt, and I'm like, oh, this is kind of a cool shirt, and then coming to hang out with you guys, it's like, what the fuck are you wearing? It's a Pixels shirt. Take that off. Why? What the fuck is it? Take. And I think it was like either Derek or Alex that like ripped it off me. I'm like, what the fuck?
It was literally both of us.
Also, just as a note, I actually do genuinely like the very beginning of Pixels.
Same.
Like when they're still kids, it's actually really well done.
Yeah, I agree. I actually thought like the first like 4 or 5 minutes of the movie I actually really enjoyed.
Which also unfortunately
and then,
gave me hope for the rest of
it. Yeah, exactly. That's the problem with it.
Do you know why you like that?
No.
Because it wasn't made by them.
Oh.
The first like 10 minutes of the film are based off of a short film made by a single dude.
I thought the whole movie
Oh,
was based off the short film.
The short film was just the aliens attack.
No, yeah,
the premise.
Yeah. No. But
Yeah,
like
no,
the scene with the
beginning
kids
had nothing to do with that.
Yeah, the beginning had nothing to do with the short film.
Yeah, the beginning was them as kids
Yeah.
in a competition.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
that's what's so weird. Is that
They-
the beginning is like so good, and then the whole
yeah,
movie
never
just
mind
is
that.
one of the worst films I've ever seen in my
Yeah,
life.
no, they yoink some quarters from one of the kids' sisters and then go to the arcade and play it. And then
Yeah,
they
and that was a good
competition.
scene. And then like everything else, once they become adults and everything else in
Yeah,
the
then
movie
it just
sucks.
sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still
You know
haven't
what's
seen
sad?
that
The
movie.
movie's so bad. I forgot that was the actual
preferably-
beginning.
No.
Yeah.
Watch the credits because the animation for the credits just gives you the whole movie.
That's true, actually.
All right.
Another
we
honorable
talking
mention
about?
for
We can't
Krampus. That was
prove anything.
I just really liked
Krampus
that
was fun.
Krampus was awesome. It's
Was
one of my
that-
favorite horror movies of all
Was
time.
was that the Krampus that I like
The good one.
the end? The family was just like
In a snow globe?
in a snow globe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A movie that almost made the top for me, Hateful Eight. That was
Oh,
a
that
really
was
good
a
movie.
good movie.
Yeah,
I've seen
that.
snippets of it, but I haven't seen the whole thing.
But ultimately, my pick for 2015, Mad Max Fury Road.
Awesome
Makes
pick.
sense, yeah.
Great pick.
That was
Good
just
pick. Good
fantastic.
pick.
All right, Isaiah, what is your 2015?
My 2015 movie was Black Mass.
I haven't
What's that?
Oh, wait, that was the one with Johnny Depp, right?
Yeah,
That was good.
that was a good.
Yeah.
For a brief moment, I was thinking, wait, you mean the DC supervillain? He had a
No.
movie?
Actually,
No,
I still
it
don't
was
know what
a-
you guys are talking about. So.
It was a really good movie. I thought about, honestly, until I came here, I was gonna be like, that's probably gonna be like, it was either this year or like the whatever year I thought of it. It's just like it's gonna be like Force Awakens. I was like, wait, Black Mass came out that year, and that's a really good fucking gangster movie. That shit was fun.
It was a solid movie.
Yeah.
What's the premise? I haven't heard of it.
I think you're pretty sure. Fuck. It's been like 5 years
Yeah,
since.
Okay,
Alex,
all
you
right.
back just a tiny bit.
Well, like.
It's my favorite movie. What's it about? I don't know.
No, because I remember like the snippets and parts of stuff of it, but I know it's
He was
about
like,
like
an old gangster who was
Yeah,
like
he-
semi-retired.
right. No, he wasn't retired. He was still like heavily
but-
part of it, and
But,
one
but
of the
he was like,
You got dragged back in?
yeah,
Yeah, I think he-
Like
a
one
big
more
part of it
job
was that
sort
he
of
wasn't
thing?
involved
oh
in the same way.
no,
though.
yeah, you're right. And then
Yeah,
they
like,
had
he wasn't
to
involved in the same way. He was just like respected.
yeah, but then he does get slowly back into it and causes chaos, and then it follows
okay.
another dude who like kind of grew up in like not with them but in the same area, but he was a cop and he infiltrates
an
the gang,
inspector.
but he slowly becomes like part of it because you see him wear the necklace and his like tone changes for him
okay.
being very professional to
He-
being like,
one of the
hey,
ones
the
who
one, it's
goes
good,
too
yeah,
deep.
yeah,
Interesting.
basically.
I see. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
and I'm pretty sure that was based on a true story too.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It was really good.
Cool. Awesome. Alex?
All right, so I've had time, so I've been building my list. Honorable mentions: Age of Ultron has one of my favorite quotes of all time ever.
Which is?
A Vision's quote to
There are no
Ultron at
strings
the,
on
end
me.
of the, at the end of the movie. Something isn't beautiful because it lasts. Yeah, I think there's beauty in their failings. I think you missed that. A quote about humanity that captures why I think people should think humanity is worth not giving up on.
No, but keep going.
Your no is I think part of it. Anyways, others I really liked Mission Impossible: Rogue Nation. Furious 7 gets an honorable mention because it was the last Fast and the Furious movie before Hobbs and Shaw.
Oh, I
really
forgot
loved.
that was one of them.
Yeah.
Oh.
Ex Machina was a fantastic debut
was.
for
I still have
Oscar
yet to see
Isaac.
that. Yeah, and I
yeah.
know you have it.
Yeah, it's on the Voodoo.
Did
Yeah.
In
John?
fact, I didn't say it. All the movies I listed right there are on the Voodoo.
Me
That one doesn't count because you didn't say it.
Whatever. Star Wars Episode 7 is an honorable mention and on the Voodoo. It's my personal favorite Star Wars movie.
Cool.
It's not my favorite Star Wars anything any longer, though, like including extended stuff, because 2019 also brought my favorite Star Wars thing
Okay.
ever, which won't appear on this list because it's not a movie, The Mandalorian.
Episode 9 was a movie.
Episode 9 was yes, you're not wrong. It was a movie.
And my pick is Mad Max Fury Road. It's
Nice.
gorgeous. It's beautiful. It's what Episode 8 should have been. It's a big chase scene done right. It's also just actually kind of fantastic. It's beautifully paced, beautifully acted, and I think there were a lot of better picks for Best Actor that year over The Revenant.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah, over Leo for The Revenant. I think Mad Max was one of the movies that had one of those roles. I think Furiosa would have been an excellent time to give the Best Actor to, well,
Actress to Charlize
Yeah,
Theron.
they're two separate
yeah,
categories.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I don't.
So you
they never
don't want Tom
promote-
Hardy in Best Actor?
No.
No?
No. But to highlight her as Best Actress should have been a much bigger thing.
Let me check to see if she won that or who won.
She
that.
didn't win that.
She
but-
did not
yeah.
win.
She didn't. I don't know who won, but it wasn't her.
Yeah, hold
Yeah,
up.
but yeah, I think that was a huge missed opportunity. Now that I think about it, wait a minute. Did Ex Machina have two guys from Star Wars in it?
Oh, no.
Yes.
Was the nerd guy Hux?
Yeah.
Yes.
Holy shit!
And Charlie Weasley from Harry Potter.
Legit.
Yeah.
Shoot.
That showed that he can be a great actor, and Star Wars let him down. Fuck. Shit.
That
That's
seems
an
to be a
honorable
recurring
mention for-
theme recently with
yeah.
Star Wars.
Yeah.
Excluding the Mandalorian.
I think you mean the Baby Yoda show?
I will hurt you.
But yeah, so Mad Max Fury Road, it's just great. It's man, it's a shame. The version I want of it isn't on the Vudu actually. I really want to see Blood and Chrome, which is the black and white version of it. But I don't own it, and it costs $20 and never goes on sale, which is a shame.
All right, so the fact checker has fact checked, and Brie Larson won Best Actress.
Yeah, so that's a shame.
What did she do again?
Room.
Oh yeah, I heard that was really good.
That,
I actually
that
haven't
was
seen that.
probably the one year she might have deserved that.
All right.
Which is a shame because she can be a really good actress when she wants to.
Going into my 2015 pick, I don't think anyone's going to be surprised here. Force Awakens, of course. Yeah, like I
You're
said.
gonna say the Goonies.
No. I
Goonies
mean,
released in
I
20.
guess technically I could put that on my. Wait, when we saw that
Could
this
you?
year, right? This year, right?
We saw
No, you
Goonies
can't.
last year.
Is there a
Oh, last year.
technicality
20
that lets you
No.
put it?
No, there's
It
no
was
technicality.
re-released.
no.
It was re-released
Re-release
last
doesn't
year.
count.
I
A
know.
remake can count. A
No.
re-release can
I'm kidding. I wasn't going to. No. I'm not going to do re-releases. But yeah, no. I fucking love The Force Awakens. It was a really awesome film. I love Star Wars, and the one thing that kind of bugged me when I saw this movie, I thought it'd be fun to watch it after doing like a 6 movies in a row marathon. So we went to an event where we were in theaters. We saw all 6 Star Wars movies side by side. I think
Yeah,
it was
that was a really cool
you.
Yeah,
you
I
and me.
wouldn't do it again. But I'm glad I did it.
I'm
Yeah.
glad I did it, but at the same time, when episode 7 started, I was tired, and I don't
won't do
think
it now that it's
I don't
complete.
think I got the enjoyment I wanted out of it. I was a little bummed by it because
By the
of
movie?
it. Yeah, because I was too fatigued at the end of it, and it wasn't because of the movie.
Man.
It was just because like I was tired.
You had
That's
watched
a shame.
movies for like 24 hours.
Yeah, exactly. So when I saw
I'm tired, I'm hurt.
it wasn't until I got a good night's sleep, saw it the next day, where I'm like, this movie is fucking awesome.
It was really
yeah.
fucking awesome.
I really love it, everything about it, and say what you want about this trilogy, it definitely had a really great starting point, though. And I love the characters in it, and a lot of people will jokingly say it's just a remake of episode 4, and while yes, it does definitely follow the same tropes as episode 4, thematically I would definitely disagree on a lot of points when people say it's just a rehash of episode 4, especially when it comes to characters. I'd say character-wise, a lot of them do not resemble anything from episode 4. Well, story beat-wise, I definitely would agree with that. Yeah, a lot of it is, but that's not a bad thing,
I don't even really agree with that on story beat-wise. The more I look at it, the more different it is story beat-wise. Yeah. There's a shadow of episode 4 over the meta story, but other than meta story, there's almost no actual repeat beats.
But yeah, character-wise, everyone's completely different from New Hope. And I say it does just enough of giving you what you loved about A New Hope and, giving you, like, something new at the same time. I love it. J.J. Abrams, you definitely scored with this one. This was a great start to the trilogy.
I'm just surprised this trilogy gave us one of the best Star Wars movies, and then right after that gave us 2 of the worst.
Hey, one of the worst and one... No, worst.
See, I almost want it right now. I'm gonna say this: Last Jedi.
What's funny is I don't even.
Last Jedi isn't. Last Jedi isn't. I'm just gonna say this: Last Jedi isn't my pick for 2017, but I kind of want to make it my pick now, just to piss you guys off.
I mean, you're not gonna piss me off.
I love it.
When I said worst there, it wasn't referencing Last Jedi.
Just
although
on.
It's a terrible Star Wars movie, I think it's a really good movie.
All right.
It
so,
has my favorite joke that will never be funny again.
I'm gonna let Alex go first for number 16.
Oh shit! Really?
2016.
All right, 2016. Honorable. We're gonna start with dishonorable because there are 2 in particular.
All right, we gotta be quick. We're an hour and a half in.
Yeah.
So, Warcraft, the most boring movie.
Oh God!
Agreed. Could have had potential.
Yeah. Batman v Superman.
Oh,
one of the worst studio fuck-ups of all time.
God, I forgot that movie came out that year.
Honorable mentions I really liked. Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. Really liked that, actually.
Yeah.
I thought it had a lot of potential. Didn't think it lived up to that potential.
Yeah, agreed.
Definitely don't think the sequels did.
Oh, yeah, no, I
Star Trek Beyond. Also fantastic potential. Really well executed.
Great
honorable
makeup.
mention. Doctor Strange, honorable mention. Kung Fu Panda 3, honorable mention. And then came the ones I had a lot of difficulty with. The next 3, I think, could have been into my number 1 on different days. Rogue One, A Star Wars Story. I didn't love it at the time it came out, but I've loved it more with every watch view since, and now consider it to be probably my 2nd or 3rd favorite Star Wars movie.
Nice.
I really love that now. My personal, probably my favorite Marvel Cinematic Universe movie, Captain America Civil War, other than Infinity War. Really great. Deserves a huge honorable mention. And what was my number 1 pick until I went back and looked for honorable mentions, Your Name, a animated movie, came out of Japan.
I have yet to see that.
It's on the Vudu. Actually, funny thing, every single movie I just mentioned is on the Vudu.
No, you only drink for the one time.
I know. I'm just.
Listen,
you don't have to drink when I say every movie.
I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to them because there's going to be the assholes that's going to pull that.
You got to drink for every single
movie when it comes up naturally, and then I'm just going to.
I'm going to say this real quick for those of you who don't drink. But smoke weed. I'm gonna say this: you have to take a hit. Take a hit every time he says. Everything I mentioned is on the Vudu.
There we go.
What would you do? That's expensive, bro.
My number 1 pick, going back through the year. I'm so glad I saw this because I completely forgot to put it on the list, even though it's one of my favorites of all time.
No, it probably won't be what I'm thinking of. If it is,
don't look at the screen because it's on the
screen.
Not.
If it is, no, there's no way.
What?
Hardcore Henry?
Wait, what?
Holy shit, that came out in 2016?
Yeah.
Oh my god!
That's right.
Yeah, it did.
That would probably be up there as my 2nd place.
Okay, keep in mind that's my honorable mention.
It's on the Vudu.
That's a movie I need to watch, but I refuse to watch it without VR glass.
It's
honestly, that'd be a good movie.
It's on the Vudu.
I know.
It's on the Vudu.
And I do have a PSVR now, so I can do that.
But no, my number 1 pick, and this may be my favorite director of all time, but we'll see. Give him a little bit more time.
Arrival?
Arrival. Yeah. Arrival.
I have yet to see that.
Yeah, still
It's
doing
on the
Voodoo.
God damn it.
Listen, I'm only gonna say that in response to someone saying they need to see it. So.
All right.
Yeah, no, the times you've said it have worked very well. So.
Yeah. I'm not trying to say like out of when it's applicable, but yeah, that's it's so great. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. It's so good. Oh my god, it's so good. Heck, the only reason I don't put it in my top 3 is because there's already another movie by this director in my number 1 spot, and I feel bad putting this in as well because it would push out some other great pieces of work that cover different tones. And I think this and that one are fairly similar in tone, actually. Which I don't know if that's some reason why I really love this director. It's just the feel, the tones. But yeah, love Arrival. Super fucking good. One of the best. Funny thing about this decade, we finally got good time travel movies. John dies at the end. Arrival. Looper. They had some really good time travel movies.
And then next decade, we're going to have Tim Machine, which is going to be like a masterpiece.
I can't tell the joke.
Dude, it is, man.
Did you say Tim Machine?
Tim Machine.
Does it have Tim Allen?
No.
Then it's trash!
No, not
I
Tim.
assume,
I think it's Tim.
No, Tim Machine.
Oh.
Yeah. No,
Well, it's not
Tim.
Till Allen, so it's trash.
No. Well, I mean, I assume by the time I actually start filming this movie, he's probably going to be dead.
Oh, what?
You're
come
making
on,
an
man.
Yeah.
asshole.
All right. Stay on target.
Asshole, man.
Okay.
But yeah, that's my
okay.
pick for number 1. Arrival.
I'm being an asshole one more time and say that I'll let you guys do it for 2016 because Alex already started it, but probably for 2017, 18, and 19, no more, unless it's a dishonorable mention, you need to say something about it. No more honorable or dishonorable mentions.
Oh, come on. There's one dishonorable mention you know we have words to say about, and there's another one that you think we should have words about.
Just
You can still say the name of it.
just say it as fast as you
Name the titles.
can.
Name the titles.
Okay.
That's it. No anything after.
Okay. Just be as fast as you
I
can.
don't know
Okay.
if I can do that.
All right. So Isaiah, go.
Mine's Hardcore Henry. That movie was fucking lit.
Nice.
I am
that was a good
totally in
film.
support of your choice.
The only movie I had on my wish list on the Google Play Store because I was going to use a Google Cardboard to watch it.
Honestly, if you could watch it like that, dude, I would totally recommend you doing that. That movie was so fucking good.
I feel like you would get
watch
so
movies
sick.
from the Voodoo.
Yeah, that's why I said it's on the Voodoo and I have a PSVR, so I'm just going to do it that way.
Yeah. You can watch
Does
it
that
on
count?
PSVR.
Does that count as
Yeah, it's
saying?
still a VR thing.
No.
Yeah,
Does that count
it
as
counts as VR.
No. Does that count as saying it's
Oh,
on
no,
Voodoo?
because it's if he said
Oh
it.
no, I was just telling him that Voodoo
okay.
works on PSVR, and I knew.
So no, it doesn't count.
Okay, cool.
However, I feel like that would make you sick, though, wouldn't it?
It does.
Probably, but I'm going to do it anyway.
Okay.
I've seen people do it. They've said like the movie is like shot like well enough for it to actually be that way.
So it made
Okay.
a lot of people sick, anyways. If you
Yeah,
didn't
fair.
get sick on an 2D screen, it's not gonna make you more sick in a VR screen.
Okay, cool.
If you held it through on one, you'll hold through on the other.
Got it. Okay.
It also just has one of my favorite memes of a dude screaming at the bus like, "Hey, blah 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 blah," just flamethrower.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, hey, dude, nice jacket.
Hey, nice jacket.
That's in the trailer.
Oh yeah.
I saw that.
Where'd you get that jacket?
All right.
Did you have any others?
Before I looked up Hardcore Henry, Civil War was my only other honorable mention.
Which one?
Fair enough.
Civil War.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Civil War is so good.
It is it is objectively the second best Marvel movie and my third personal favorite.
I kind of agree with most of that, actually. Yeah.
All right.
Oh, cool.
Fen Hotsause.
Favorite movie for that year? Zootopia.
All
right.
Wait, fuck! That came out.
Yes.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Came out
Surprised you didn't
360.
mention it.
Holy
Yeah.
shit!
Honestly, that's the one. It
That
was either
movie,
that
like,
one.
almost literally changed my life.
It was
forever.
either that one or Hardcore Henry. I thought you were gonna put on there. But
Damn!
like,
Oh my god! Thank you for putting on your list.
And my top spot at that.
I still think I have to choose Arrival over it, but I feel really bad choosing Arrival over
yeah,
it
especially
now.
since like after you saw that movie, I remember us having a deep ass conversation about that.
Yeah.
Or about what it did to you. Like, oh my
it
god.
still has
Yeah.
that effect on me to this day. To this day, I don't do things that don't benefit me anymore. It changed my a moral core for me in how I interpret the world around me and how I interact with it.
That's pretty cool.
I really appreciate that movie.
That's
Damn.
pretty cool.
Second best
Thank you for
Kubo.
putting it in your list.
Second best Kubo and the Two Strings. Best visual.
Wait, that came out this year.
All right.
Yeah.
Yes, it did.
Take a drink every time Isaiah says that came out this
Listen,
year.
He did it too.
If any of you need to see those, they're on the Voodoo.
Best visuals in 3D. Doctor Strange.
Honestly, yeah.
Oh, fuck it.
Shut. Dishonorable mention to Batman vs Superman, Warcraft, and Trolls.
Cool.
Wait, Trolls came out that.
Also, I
I will
forgot
punch
Trolls
you.
came out that year.
What?
I forgot Trolls came out.
I also forgot.
I forgot that movie came out.
I forgot that movie existed.
I forgot that movie.
All right,
How
Megan,
did it
your
exist?
All right.
The second one came out. now
your
the third is on
2016
play.
pick.
All right, my picks. Honorable mentions. They've all been mentioned before. I think except for one or maybe two. Captain America: Civil War, Rogue One.
Civil War. Nah, I'm joking. Sorry.
All right, Zootopia, Fantastic Beasts, Kubo and the Two Strings, La La Land, Doctor Strange, and Moana.
Oh, that's right, Moana.
I almost put
That one was genuine.
I almost put Moana, but
Yeah,
eventually I was like, it's too
But
much
my
on it.
favorite was Deadpool.
Oh, fuck that fucking. Oh, god damn.
Deadpool was
Shut
Deadpool.
up.
I'm sorry.
So we had what's really weird is that throughout this decade,
Dude.
we had only really strong and really weak years, and almost nothing in the middle, which was really weird.
Wait, I don't remember all these movies. It was 2015. Were we 2015?
16.
16.
Okay,
16.
okay, that makes sense. That
Yeah,
makes
no,
sense.
these are all
Deadpool-
2016.
Deadpool was one of my favorites. I always heard rumors of like, oh yeah, no, we're gonna make it. Oh, we're gonna make it PG-13. Oh, we're gonna make it rated R. Hearing just back and forth things of whether it's gonna be confirmed or not. And Ryan Reynolds, like, originally being in the role with I think the Wolverine Origins film
Yeah.
back in 2009.
Yep, I'm so glad no
That
one
he
held that
ruined-
against him.
Yeah, that was
Me
bad.
too.
I
I'm
can't.
so
oh.
glad it managed to make some money.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm glad
so-
no one held it against him because
Absolutely, yeah. So that was one of my favorite. All the comedic jokes landed, and just Ryan Reynolds just embodying the character. I just found it like one of my favorite like films of all time, and it also was one of our earlier dates as well.
Yeah.
But we saw it like 4 different times and stuff like that. You got me the poster for Valentine's Day, which I thought was so sweet. So yeah, no, that's my pick of 2016.
Yep, awesome movie. Fucking love Deadpool. However, I think I like, for my 2016 pick, it's also a Marvel movie, but I'm going to have to go with Captain America Civil War for my 2016 pick. I want to say that it was definitely a challenge because, like, yeah, all these movies.
It was a challenging year.
Yeah,
It was a good
it
year.
was. Yeah, it was a good year. But I'm definitely going to have to go with Civil War overall. And since this is going to be my last opportunity, I'm going to go with my dishonorable mention for Batman v Superman because with Civil
it was
War,
so garbage.
Civil War, I feel like was such a hard comic book to adapt, and they did it really well, even though they changed a lot of it.
They
Didn't. I'm
they-
sorry.
okay.
I can't call it an adaptation.
Okay,
It
that's
was
fair.
not an
That's
adaptation.
okay. That's fair. That's fair. But I will say this: it was a hard comic to pull off, and even though they had to change a lot of it, they made it into an amazing movie. Whereas Batman v Superman, I feel like there are so many ways you could have made that into a really amazing film. And it kind of blows my mind, even to this day, how bad that film was with everything it had going for it. Having one of the biggest budgets of any film out there. Having, honestly, call me out on this, but Zack Snyder's a talented director. And so it blows my mind that this is what came out of it.
I'm
You know
not
what?
sure anymore.
Yeah.
He's had so many trash movies. I don't really think he's a talented director. I think he's a director that has talent. And I think those are two different things. I
don't
don't
know.
think I think he's like George Lucas, that he was at his best when he clearly had
A bunch of people being
more people.
that
Yeah.
corrected
Yeah.
him and told him, "You
I
can't
mean, that's
do this,
totally
you can't do
fair.
that."
That's totally fair.
Yeah,
but
he himself isn't necessarily great, but he's kind of inspired.
With that being said,
But-
he really didn't deserve the hate towards
But-
his daughter.
Mm-hmm.
That
Oh,
was
yeah.
that
No,
was
that's-
uncalled for.
His family didn't deserve the hate they got for being related to him.
yeah,
Yeah.
no, that was fun.
Yeah.
But
He's deserved a lot of the dislike.
Oh no, no. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, but like,
yeah,
you know,
obviously none of that should have ever
Right.
been directed at his family, and no like personal threats or hatred towards
yeah,
him as a
no
person.
Yeah,
hatred
that's
towards
pretty-
people
that's
themselves.
pretty
That's
fun.
fucked up.
Well, I mean,
it's fair to critique them as like filmmakers, but to actually like send hate mail and death threats to them
So
personally
I
or the
think-
people they're
I
related
think
to, it's fucked.
Some of the hate for him as a person was somewhat well founded for some people. People who don't like how he presents specifically sexuality in film because he likes depicting rape specifically. I can see why people hold that personally against him as a person.
but well,
Because
But,
it seems to hint at a a fetish with it, even if it's not a non-sexual fetish. He likes using it in film, has directly stated that. He literally said shit about wanting to make it so that Batman got raped in prison and shit.
That was an idea that he said that he could do that in his movie.
Right. Yeah. He has a weird fetishistic relationship with some things, including rape, and how he depicts it in his films, like in Rise of the Empire, where two people raped each other back and forth for fun.
Well,
yes.
Wasn't she raped him?
They raped each other.
Raping each other back and forth. And
I only
was the
saw
point of the
clips.
scene. His weird shit with that is really emblematic of some problems for a lot of people, and I don't hold it against them to hold him morally accountable for those.
Yeah. Okay.
But
going back
his
to
family still doesn't deserve any hate.
But going back to Civil War, though, I'm sorry, what were you gonna say?
To be fair, I wanted to say I didn't mean like. I also meant the hate for his family, but also the hate that he also got because people said that he
was a shit director?
No, that his daughter deserved that. Because I know there
was
people who did that. That's fucked up. He didn't know
that.
That
is fucked up.
Yeah.
But trying to move this back onto a fun topic, like what you're supposed to do.
Movies are fun? What?
Yeah. So Civil War, man, it's like not only one of the most entertaining films, like entertaining superhero films in an already genre filled with entertaining superhero films. It definitely has so much heart behind it, and not to mention, like, it's so weird because superheroes fighting superheroes could have easily been forced, and while you could definitely I've definitely heard arguments saying that, you know, the villain circumstances were definitely a little too, like, convenient. I totally get that, but at the same time, I feel like the outcome was so amazing, like, I don't even care. And the villain himself was a great villain, and I can't wait to see more of him in Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
And possibly Thunderbolts.
Yeah.
I actually really love a lot of the talk, even though there are no rumors that's actually in production or pre-production or anything, but all of the talk about how it's a possibility
for Thunderbolts,
that the Thunderbolts could be a thing.
All right. Who wants to go first next for 2017?
Well, who went first last?
I went first last.
Okay, so I guess I'm going first.
All right. No, that was ladies first. I went first for 16, I believe.
Wait.
No.
Wait,
No,
did
right.
I not go?
No. Sorry, I went last. Yeah.
Wait, what year are we on?
We're on 17.
We are now.
No, I definitely went.
Oh, I didn't know. I didn't even go. I didn't even go.
Oh, wait, you didn't?
For 2016?
Wait, you did.
Yeah, you did. You said
someone said 17,
no,
and
that was because we're doing 17 now.
We're doing 17 now is what you said.
Yeah.
So who went first before?
I think
I went first.
Alex.
Okay, so I'm going first.
So now you're going first with 2017.
Okay, my 2017 pick is Logan. Because that movie...
Man, that's a good choice.
Great choice.
Okay,
all right.
Legit, if you guys haven't seen it yet, okay.
Let me guess.
I know, no. I swear I don't mean it because of the drinking game.
No, I know, it's just funny.
And I'm not saying the base movie because I think all of you have seen the base movie.
You mean the noir one?
Yeah.
Black and white, yeah.
Logan Noir is on my Vudu. It's
thing.
under the more options for the movie. And
you can watch it in black and white.
The extra thing, like the extras, it's under the extras option. You can watch it. It was made for black and white.
That seems like one I might actually want to check out.
Logan Noir is on the Vudu,
it's basically just the entire movie in like a grayscale black and white.
It's so gorgeous. It makes it feel even more like a classic Western.
Yeah, or like a noir.
The silhouetting in almost every scene. I didn't even notice it as much before, but it's so fudging good. The movie is like highlighted watching it both ways.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
So
awesome.
A rule of design, if it doesn't work in black and white, don't try and make it work in color.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
But man, how many movies actually put out a black and white version though?
That one, The Mist.
And Mad Max.
That's true. Yeah, but we mentioned the blowing
we did.
film of Mad Max. Yeah.
But this I don't like the X-Men franchise, at least to what they've done with it most. I don't think I like any of the movies.
I sadly really agree with you on this. I don't like most of the X-Men movies.
They were disappointing.
Yeah, a lot of them were disappointing.
A lot of them are bad. Not just disappointing, but actually bad films and really kind of awful things.
But there's some redeeming scenes.
Yeah.
Like Quicksilver.
But
Back to the Future was good.
What?
Days of Future Past.
Days of Future Past.
Yeah.
Back to the Future was it was good. I think actually Days of Future Past was one of like maybe 3 actually good X-Men films.
Yeah.
Alright.
Well, like Logan was one that actually made me care about X-Men. As someone who does not give a shit about the X-Men, I was like, it makes me want to go back and
rewatch all the Wolverine. I mean, they're all the Wolverine movies. So.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
until I get to first class.
Alright, Isaac, what's your 2017 pick?
My top pick for 2017 and my favorite movie of all time, The Emoji Movie. It's a great.
Oh yeah. By the way,
Alright,
like this
alright,
honorable
alright.
mention. Yeah. Guess what?
Can you even make this honorable mention? You fell asleep during it.
I know. I fell asleep during part of it.
You fell asleep during the worst scene of it.
Thank
You
God
even
I
know
did.
what makes it so
Listen
bad.
to me. If you like the Emoji Movie, your mom
Moody?
should Moody.
What's a Moody?
It doesn't.
Are they moody about the emoji
I'm
movie?
moody about the Emoji Movie. You don't deserve to be alive. Your mother should have aborted you or swallowed you. I don't give a fucking fuck. I am actually and go fucking die. I don't care.
Holy crap.
No, I'm
Damn.
saying if you like the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
still.
that's even
Still.
worse.
I understand why
Wait,
people.
what do you wish for the people who made it?
Yeah.
Oh no, I
Jesus.
understand.
Holy
They probably got
crap.
paid big bucks to make that movie. I completely understand what they did.
Quote Dan Harmon.
But if you like it,
Jesus.
To quote Dan Harmon, do you think there's a single person that worked on the Emoji Movie and went home to their families, after a day of
Okay.
work and would go, "Man, I'm so proud of myself. I'm doing
I
great
actually
work. That's
do.
going to be
no,
going
there,
so
if you
I
looked at that red
unironically
carpet,
do.
if you look at that the red carpet scene, which that video is like infamous. There are people who are actually proud about that. Like, how can you be proud about working on a movie like that?
Actually, I can no. Actually, I actually agree with the people who are proud of making it. As much as the movie was crap, the animation was actually really
It's
well
decent.
executed.
Yeah.
It's not just decent; it was actually really well
Alright,
executed.
above average.
It wasn't just above average.
Alright,
This is some of
then
the
you lost me.
best CG. I hate the movie, and I hate what they did with it,
why?
but it is really well animated. And that studio went on to make one of my favorite movies of all time,
Which
Yeah.
one?
I know. Well,
Which one?
Spider-Man,
Oh.
Spider-Verse.
Spider-Verse.
Oh, don't.
Alright, alright.
Like
alright,
legit,
alright,
the
alright.
animation team
Yes. Okay.
clearly
year was
worked hard and had
Spider-Verse?
2019. No,
18.
and had
2018.
and had to be a lot
Okay, it's
to be
missing-
proud of.
Alright.
You
making
okay?
it. It's
Alright.
the script
I've been
writers
away.
that did it.
Oh, okay.
Of course, Emoji Movie fucking hurts me again. God
Okay.
fucking
I
damn.
do actually think that people shouldn't be just hating on the emoji. You should admit what is good when it comes up. And as much as I hate the movie, the CG is excellent. The animators did their job.
Alright.
They just were given a shit job to do.
Alright, moving on.
Okay, moving
2017.
on.
Look, I don't disagree, but
Dishonorable mention to Emoji Movie. Dishonorable mention to Rock Dog. Dishonorable mention to Blade Runner 2049.
I'm gonna hit you.
Alright.
I'm gonna hit your nuts.
Hey.
it's not worth it. It's not worth it, man. It's not worth it, man.
All right,
Okay,
still
that was just to get him mad.
Yeah,
Okay.
Alright.
it's not worth it, man. Look at me. It's not-
Honorable mentions. Get Out, one of my favorite horror movies.
Oh hell yeah! That is
Honorable mention
Good
to
old man.
honorable mention to Blade Runner 2049. It was
Yeah.
an absolutely fantastic movie.
Yeah, alright.
And reason it's not my favorite in 2017 because 2017 did have legitimately my favorite movie of all time, Logan.
Yeah.
Okay. Also,
Again,
can't
really
even be
good
mad at you
choice.
for
So
that.
Yeah,
yeah.
good choice, yeah.
Also,
I can't even be mad at you for that.
I just realized we did it before, but we also have to give an honorable mention to "Sorry to Bother You" because that did come out that year.
I didn't
Oh,
see
I
it.
saw
Unfortunately.
Sorry to Bother You came out 2018.
I thought
No,
that was
we
18.
I still haven't
we
seen
watched
Sorry.
it in 2018.
I couldn't
Have
put
I
it on my
seen
list because I
Sorry to
still
Bother
haven't
You?
seen
No, you
it.
haven't. I swear to God. it came
Isaac,
out.
you need to see Sorry to Bother You.
I really want to.
Okay.
I need
I
to see
feel
it
like
too.
you should. I feel like you should
Hey,
watch it.
I need to see it too,
So
so I'll
weird.
put it on the Voodoo.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Yeah, because it's you got to see it.
That yeah.
Anyway, that's my 2017 version.
Okay. Megan, what is your... Oh, you're looking...
Initial release was 2018 in Brazil. For Sorry to Bother You.
Huh.
It's
Oh,
2018.
in Brazil.
Oh.
Okay.
2018.
Oh, never mind.
Oh, cool.
It came out at Sundance in January 2018, and it came out in the States wide release in July 6th of 2018. So it was
Okay,
2018.
cool.
Never mind.
So,
Cool. Thought so.
Yeah, so 2017, I have a decently long list of honorable mentions. Last
Wait,
Jedi.
never mind.
Last Jedi. Some parts were good, some parts were bad. Jumanji really surprised me. It was way funnier. I know, Alex. It was way funnier than it needed to be. Spider-Man: Homecoming, Thor: Ragnarok, Wonder Woman, Split, Logan, Dunkirk,
Oh, that did come out.
Dunkirk, It, Kingsman 2, Blade Runner 2049, Coco, Shape of Water, and Disaster Artist.
This was a good year. Oh
Yeah.
my god.
And for me, Get Out was my favorite. I liked the premise. It was clever. I didn't get it till second viewing.
I just want to point
And
out.
it was just something different that I've never seen before. And I thought it was very clever how Jordan Peele did the whole, did all the themes.
She's
and
trying to make up
the
for
mystery.
the fact that she loves
She's trying to make it. So I was just, I was just thinking that. It's like, huh, what a coincidence.
All right. You
But
know what? My pick was going to be something that I already know for a fact that Alex is going to pick as his number one anyways.
Wait, do
so,
you? Oh,
yeah, I know.
Blade
Yeah,
Runner,
you do.
Blade
I know
Runner,
for a
yeah.
fact you were going to pick it as your 2017
I mean,
release date.
you could still pick
And
it.
It is without a doubt my favorite, but I'm just going to be an asshole because I know that I'm the only one who I definitely enjoy this movie the most, and I do stand by it does make my top 5.
This is your fault.
I'm not
You know
sure
this is your
100%. Last Jedi.
Oh.
We weren't going to talk about it because everyone had put in the dishonorable and just skipped it.
I'm just
But
gonna
you know
say,
what?
I didn't
I'm
put
just
it
gonna
as honorable
say,
mention.
I really enjoyed it,
I thought you
and
were
even
gonna
though
say
it's not
emoji movie,
perfect, it
Nick
has a
Mouse.
really bad pacing problem. There are definitely scenes that could have been rewritten to make it so much
Man,
better.
Oddly
Character
enough, I
arcs,
don't think it has that much of a pacing problem.
I do.
Okay.
But anyways, I think though that the most of the character arcs, they definitely had a great thing going for it.
No.
Even if
No.
the execution for most of them
No.
weren't done as,
Alright.
as perfect as they could have been.
Okay.
Luke's arc, Kylo Ren's arc were amazing. Finn's arc could have been done
Luke's
better,
arc
but I
was
liked what they
terrible.
were trying to
Kylo's
do.
arc was terrible.
I loved Rey in this film.
Lightspeed
And-
kamikaze.
Yeah.
The-
Amazing.
Listen,
and
okay,
and
I'm not gonna
overall,
argue because
the
remember, I think it's a
cinematography
good film. I just don't think it's a good Star Wars film.
and overall,
No, I just thought it
the
needed to be said.
cinematography.
Oh yeah,
just a great
Lightspeed
scene.
Kamikaze is one of it may be my favorite scene in all of sci-fi.
Alright.
Cinematography is fucking beautiful.
It is.
Yeah, that's something that I know
Man.
everyone can agree
I'll
on.
100%
No matter
agree with
how
you.
much you hate the
Alright.
movie, you can't disagree with the cinematography.
The
Fair
movie,
enough.
the
But,
movie in a vacuum was written well, directed well, cinematography is gorgeous. It's made the best colored Star Wars movie.
I'll
of
even
all
say
time.
this. I think The Force Awakens is a much better put together film, but I think because of some of the scenes in The Last Jedi, I think I do overall enjoy The Last Jedi more because there are some scenes that are just so amazing in it. They give me a
not.
fucking
It's
hard
not.
on with how great they are, but
Okay,
then it's
okay.
always
Still
followed
is.
by scenes that are so terrible is the
Okay.
problem.
I have to
And-
ask you a question though.
One question because we need to move on.
How can you agree? How
Alright,
can you
alright.
think
With all that-
along Ryan Johnson's mind?
That-
how can you think that the arc for Luke Skywalker makes any sense? I need to make
I
sense. of it.
can't do it without getting into a 3-hour debate, so
Yep.
I'm just going to end it
Alright.
with saying...
I have to explain something I said earlier. My favorite joke that in a movie that will never be funny again, him tossing the lightsaber. And it's very specifically because I waited like 2 years for that.
Yeah, we
And there's just a
waited. We
such-
waited 2 years.
And I will,
such an
that's another,
anticlimactic
that was
end, it was
another
hilarious.
thing, is that the
Yeah.
comedy definitely needed to be toned down a lot.
I have
but
one statement.
with all that being said, Star Wars The Last Jedi, it would definitely make my top 5 of 2017, but definitely not my number one pick. My number one pick is definitely Blade Runner 2049. Sorry, I just needed to say all that so I could
Wait, I
piss you
thought
guys
you were
off.
changing your number
No,
one.
I was going to, but then I kind of was like, but Blade Runner 2049 is so
just better.
amazing.
It was just better.
I can't not put it on my number one.
you wanna-
But with that being said,
wait,
Last Jedi would make my top 5,
Alright.
but my number one is Blade Runner
you wanna-
2049. I'll let Alex suck the dick of Blade Runner 2049 because I know he loves it as much
I
as
will
I do.
happily
you want
suck
me to-
it, but I
you want
gotta
me to-
suck some pussy first.
You want to watch me get Alex mad again?
no,
I still haven't watched Blade Runner yet.
like original or
Doesn't make me
2049.
mad.
Yeah.
That gives me a reason to rewatch it.
Oh god,
Yeah.
what did I do?
I was gonna say-
It's on the voodoo.
Okay, that
Alright.
one definitely felt forced.
Except
Alright,
for I was gonna tell you naturally,
Yeah, that
and
was
then
an
you
appropriate
just
timing, though.
yeah, that was appropriate
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, that was.
All right, cool.
Listen,
Alright,
you gotta
Alex.
make him mad, you gotta dishonor.
Yeah.
All right, Alex, favorite film of 2017.
Uh,
Go.
Honorable mentions. I gotta suck some pussy before I suck some dick.
Alright.
Wonder Woman,
Nice.
probably my favorite
Just
superhero
title.
movie
Just
of all
title.
time.
Just title. Let's go.
Logan, my favorite anti-hero movie of all time.
All right.
This is just a best of list. That's not good. Shape of Water, honorable mention. Dunkirk, honorable mention. Baby Driver, honorable mention. Get Out,
yeah.
honorable mention. Kong Skull Island, Guardians Volume 2, Thor Ragnarok, Lego Batman movie.
Yeah.
Now, this year was particularly important for dishonorable mentions.
Okay. Real quick.
Transformers: The Last Night sucked total nutsack. It
Different
was a
aspect ratios.
horribly made film.
If you guys want to see me rant about that movie for about how long did I go on for? Because I went on way too
Not long enough.
Anyways,
I feel like it was a good 45 minutes.
We did
I
a
hadn't
5
seen the movie
on
at
our
that
5
time, though.
worst of
I
2017.
watched
That was
this
my
for that.
number one, and I started chugging Jägermeister because I was like,
I think I remember you
Yeah.
specifically being like, okay.
yeah, and
Just
then
like,
that's when I
I'm
started
still
my
waiting.
rant. Anyway, sorry, keep going.
Dishonorable mention: Justice League, one of the most horribly
That's true.
pasted together films ever.
It's disgusting brown everywhere.
And this honorable mention for my least favorite Star Wars movie, maybe-ish, not quite, because Episode 2 is still actually worst, period, as both a film and a Star Wars movie.
And Episode 9 exists.
What?
And Episode 9 exists.
Episode 9 I still have weird feelings on, and it's a worse movie, but...
Keep going. I don't want to hear you.
But Episode 8, Star Wars Last Jedi, the worst thing that could have ever happened to that franchise, and the franchise still hasn't come back from it, despite so many positive things having happened since, and one notable weirdly negative and/or positive thing.
All right, bummer. All right, moving on.
All right, top movie of the year, obviously Blade Runner.
Nice.
It's gorgeous. It's made by my new favorite director of all time. It's so good. Oh my god. So I love the original Blade Runner, but it has a lot of flaws. It's a very flawed film.
Yeah, because it was kind of an experimental sort of film during that time.
It defined one of, if not my favorite, sci-fi genres of all time, cyberpunk. Now, it wasn't the origin of cyberpunk, I think. Even the book by William,
Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep?
Isn't the best or most defining or oldest cyberpunk. That actually kind of belongs to William Gibson's Neuromancer, which was like the actual true origin of cyberpunk.
All right, but back to Blade Runner 2049.
Blade Runner defined cyberpunk visually and aesthetically ever since it came out. And without it, we wouldn't have some of the greatest things that have happened since. This is one of those things. This is my favorite movie of all time. And it's so beautiful in every way. It's written perfectly and subtly. People forget subtlety, and this is just chock full of so much of it. Not all of it's subtle, clearly. There's a lot of really overt shit. But there's enough there, so I still think I find something new to appreciate every time I watch it.
Yeah, no.
It's gorgeous.
Cinematography. That's why Roger Deakins won the best Oscar for his cinematography on that film.
Legit?
Totally deserved that.
And dude, for composer Hans Zimmer, come on. Hard to beat.
John Williams is up there.
It's John Williams and Hans Zimmer, my two favorite composers of all time.
Yeah, and the new composer for the Mandalorian, I forgot his name, but he also did the music.
He's really good too. Fudge.
Yeah, no. Okay, but moving on. Now we are, I believe, at 2018.
We're at 2018.
Did anyone not do
2017?
Yeah, we just did 2017.
No, I said did anyone?
Yeah, Isaiah started
off.
Isaiah started it. All right, so now
I'm going to let you start out 2018.
2018, this is one of the 2 years where I didn't watch a lot of movies. Honorable mention Deadpool 2, dishonorable mention Ready Player 1.
Yeah,
thank you for that dishonorable mention. Now I can skip mine.
Yeah, that's disappointing.
That was bad.
But the one I had listed as the best was Avengers Infinity War.
Okay, so yeah.
I could hella respect that.
I'm now having it tied with Spider-Verse.
Spider-Verse,
Same. I thought that was. I'm just
100% with you on that. 100%.
Only reason it wasn't on the list is because I didn't see it on the website I was going through.
Yeah,
fair enough.
Okay.
We want to go Megan or Isaiah next?
It's been going this way. So.
Yeah, it's got
Alright,
cool.
Yeah.
So, honorable mentions for 2018. Avengers, of course, Infinity War. I liked Black Panther. I would kind of agree that it's overrated.
It's definitely overrated, but it is.
But I did really enjoy it. I really liked it.
I'm not saying that. It's just the fact that, like, this is
like
the second Black
Oh man!
She likes 12 Years a Slave and she hates Black Panther.
Oh my god! And she's
was it not realistic enough for you?
Get Out is all about re-enslaving black people and about fucking how they're murderers in the end. Holy shit! Oh my god!
She's not a bad person, I swear to God.
No, guys.
You guys are assholes.
Just the worst.
Stewie, I can't believe you date her. God.
Oh my god,
Why
dude.
did you date such a blatant racist?
She is not a bad person, I swear to God. I'm just fucking with her.
She may be racist, but it doesn't make her a bad person.
Wait, guys, do you hear that buzzing? I think there's a wasp.
God damn it.
Jesus Christ. Alright. Moving on. For fuck's sake. Alright, moving on.
Y'all savage tonight. Damn.
Mission Impossible Fallout. I loved Mission Impossible Fallout. Henry Cavill, my goodness, just
Dude,
kicks
I
ass
so
as well.
agree. Yeah.
It's just great. Isle of Dogs.
Reloading fists and everything.
Oh, Isle of Dogs.
Isle of Dogs I loved. I'm a sucker for stop motion.
I
needed
forgot
to
that
see
was
and
that
never
year.
did.
It's
It's
really
on the
good.
Voodoo.
Okay.
Quiet
Check.
Place, Deadpool 2, Solo: A Star Wars Story, the documentary Won't You Be My Neighbor?
Solo was on my way. I agree with that honorable mention. Thank you for pointing
Won't
that.
You Be My Neighbor?
I hate how many people hated that for some reason.
No, what the fuck?
He's talking about
Solo.
Solo, not.
Oh, so
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. The Won't You Be My Neighbor.
No. Everyone loved Roger's Neighbor. No. Solo. I don't
I
actually
liked-
really get the hate for it.
I came out at a bad time with Last Jedi.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
also,
Yeah,
people were
but
fatigued.
that's
There's a
a
lot of reasons
shame.
why it didn't make a lot of money, unfortunately. It's a bummer. They took a risk and it didn't pay off. But moving on.
Man, I thought they didn't. Take much
Venom.
of it, so.
Venom. I liked it ironically because it was such.
Honestly,
it was so dumb
Venom-
fun.
It was a
Venom
good.
is-
It was a good movie.
Venom, I
Like,
almost
unironically.
picked as my number one. I really,
But
I enjoy it
but,
so
but,
much.
But Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is my top pick.
Okay, I know you're not fact checking the moment, and I know I'll do it while you're making your list actually, because I think I may have an honorable mention that didn't pop up on anything previous, because it was like identical to Venom almost. It was like very Venomy. Upgrade.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
Well, I
right.
haven't seen it. I've heard
It's on the
good things.
Voodoo. It is.
I've heard good things about it.
I
Yeah, and I've seen
really,
clips.
really
and I've
liked
seen
it.
good clips. Yeah. So
when did Upgrade come out?
I think that was 2018.
I think it was 2018.
I
Yeah.
think it was. My pick for 2018, I don't think is going to surprise
Yeah, it
anyone.
was June 1st, 2018.
Okay.
I will say this, that yes, it was definitely really a challenge to pick between Into the Spider-Verse and Avengers Infinity War because those movies were
and
freaking
Venom.
amazing.
And Venom.
Yeah. Anyway, I will say this though, Into the Spider-Verse is definitely my favorite Spider-Man of all time personally.
I think it might
Spider-Man
be my
movie.
favorite superhero film of all time.
But
Nice.
I'm definitely going to give it to Infinity War. I did not at all to me this is one of the two movies where I will say that Marvel actually did take a bit of a risk when it came to their films. Like, I hate to sound like everyone else because I love Marvel movies, but I'm going to say that for the most part they have been mostly playing it safe with the exceptions of Guardians of the Galaxy, and then I'll also
Strange.
say yeah,
I don't think Doctor Strange was playing it safe.
definitely
that
not.
that aesthetic
That-
could have
that-
fucked so bad.
aesthetically no, story-wise
The
A story I
definitely.
guess, but that
Story-wise,
could've-
it was lacking.
Story-
but
yeah,
the
but
visuals on that were
They could
Okay,
have.
okay,
They could
but
have
fair
fucked
enough,
people
But
on that.
fair enough.
the movie, how it was executed,
Fair
was
enough.
a huge risk.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair enough.
That could have either
But it was
been like.
unrecoverable because it was the base aesthetic.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
That could have either been like one of the best looking movies, or like this is gonna be hot garbage to look at. And
That was either
thank
gonna
God
be
the
an
former was the
exception,
one.
or
Yeah.
it was gonna be a jumbled pile of garbage.
I still
That's
want to
fair
hang
enough.
a 3D TV on the wall that just 24/7 loops Doctor Strange.
I would be okay with that. That'd be cool.
You know what?
Uh,
Me too.
Yeah,
Alright.
but yeah, that's fair enough. But yeah, Infinity War though was definitely one of my favorite. Probably definitely my favorite Marvel film of all time. I love the structure of it. It's one of the best, pace, with the exception of maybe the Thor and Rocket Raccoon scenes kind of going on slightly too long. It's one of the best structured, in terms of you have so many characters. How are you going to give each character enough screen time, but still have enough to focus on the story? And it does it so perfectly by having, and I'm not trying to be like that person who goes, oh, Thanos was the hero. He wasn't. He's the villain.
He was.
But,
No, he was the hero.
But he was definitely the protagonist of the film because he is definitely the main center of the film. I'm not going to try and say he was the hero. He wasn't. He's the villain. But
both.
he was definitely the protagonist because he gets the most amount of screen time of any of the Avengers. And not to mention, here's the biggest thing, is that people will constantly complain that Marvel movies have boring villains. It's amazing that the villain that they've been hyping up for so long ends up being the best villain in all of Marvel.
Yeah.
And then
I am
also
just
the worst
blown away.
afterwards.
Huh?
And then also the worst
Yeah.
afterwards.
I thought it was fine in Endgame. Not as good as
we'll
Infinity
get
War.
there.
And
Alright,
not-
we'll
okay.
talk about it later.
Anyway,
We'll talk about it later.
anyway,
It's
next year.
not to mention though that ending. That ending, even though
Was
we
so
knew,
perfect.
even though we
Oh,
knew everything was going to be
oh,
fine.
so good.
Yeah, even though we knew everything was going to be fine in the next film, don't act like you didn't get a bit emotional from that. That was
I
perfect.
cried.
And then you had not the
with
actual
a
end
lot of
credit
those
scene.
contracts actually coming to a close and stuff, some
Actually, yeah.
people actually did think that it was the end for a lot of those actors.
Yeah.
It was only two of them people knew
I
there were
would have
sequels
I
for.
would have thought that if it had been reversed, if the original Avengers were the ones who got dusted,
Yeah.
I definitely would have believed it. They weren't coming
Right,
back.
right.
But
But
anyways,
the problem is they dusted the people the only people we knew the contract.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's the problem. It was the
But
opposite.
some
But
of
it
them,
was
like
still
Spider-Man, I actually thought might not come back because I thought Spider-Man movies might all be prequels to it.
yeah.
Just because they could have all been smaller
They
things.
could.
Oh yeah, because of
But,
the whole Sony thing, right?
Yeah. So I legit thought that Spidey might have been gone at that point.
But last thing I'll
I
say
didn't
is that
actually
it
think that, but
it even had
possibility.
one of, and I'm not even talking about the end credit scene. I'm saying it had one of the best things in the end credits, which is before the end credit scene, it cuts to black and it says the words Thanos will return. It didn't say the Avengers.
Yeah, because up
it
until now,
fucking
Oh,
said
yeah.
movie
Thanos.
says
Every movie
and
said
you're like,
Avengers
what?
will return
The
until
Avengers will
Infinity
And
War.
Yeah.
I loved how
And
they
then
even
Thanos will
and
return,
a quick honorable mention. I love how they kept that thing going in Ant-Man and the Wasp by having the thing be Ant-Man will return, and then they followed it up with a question mark.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, I had to get that all out of the way.
all right.
Alex,
One
you're 2018.
quick comment following that, because it's for Infinity War, and that's an honorable mention for me, is that I think it's the most impressive film they've ever made, and that maybe any studio will ever make.
It is on my top favorite movies in general.
It not only is it like a lot of people's favorite movies, on their favorite movies, it not is one of their best, but just from the point of view of how hard it was to pull off, how many main actors they have, how many primary role protagonists they have in it, and how expensive each of those actors. Like, I think it's actually on a technical level the most difficult to pull off movie of all time that's ever been pulled off, and I don't think it'll ever be topped, which is a shame. But it's not my pick for this year. Other honorable mentions: Upgrade, Incredibles 2, Deadpool 2, Mission Impossible Fallout, Avengers Infinity War. My top two is hard to decide between. Well, my top three were, because Infinity War was in there, obviously, but now you've said it, which makes me feel better. But I actually did struggle with this choice too, because I think I actually enjoyed Venom more. Not as a movie, but just as entertainment.
Dumb fun.
I'm not going to say dumb fun. I think there are parts that are actually genuinely brilliantly pulled off. But I will say as entertainment, and I'm not going to say as smart fun.
Yeah, just like okay.
Okay.
I'm sorry, the Venom CG is actually brilliantly pulled off, given that it's hand painted on. I'm sorry,
Don't
it is
look-
an
Don't look at
excellent
me.
film.
I'm
Okay?
on your side.
We were
I like
laughing
the
because she
Venom-
snorted
yeah,
after a
it's
time.
Oh, okay. I thought you were
Yes,
laughing at
no.
the comment that it
No,
was
no,
actually
at
really
me.
well made.
We-
and stuff.
I
No, we were
said-
laughing because she went, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Remember,
I know, light nuanced
I, mean,
snort.
remember
I do
I-
think it was actually superbly well made.
yeah,
in
no,
there.
and
Okay, just remember, I was in the movie with you. We both liked that movie. We both,
Unironically,
yeah, we both
unironically,
unironically liked that movie.
I think it
Yeah.
helped because we went in with really low expectations because the ratings for it on Rotten Tomatoes were so low. So we
And
went in
all
with
but the
really
last trailer looked like shit too.
yeah. So we went
Like-
in with really low expectations.
heard
So I think we were
in the
kind of.
wind.
I think we were
That's
kind
my
of.
favorite trailer to this
I
day.
think we were kind of blown away by it not sucking and it being like, wait, this is fun. What
Dude,
the fuck?
Okay,
Yeah.
I would agree with you, except for I wasn't just blown away. That feeling has been maintained ever since.
Yeah.
Every time I rewatch it, I love it.
Fair enough.
But my actual pick, because quality-wise, it just is better. I could go on forever as to why. We're not gonna hear, I guess.
Yeah.
Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
Wow,
I mean,
what a surprise!
they
The
pioneered-
Spider-Man fan and had to pick between two Spider-Man movies.
3 Spider-Man movies. Avengers Infinity War.
Oh,
also
that's
features
right.
Spider-Man as one of the protagonists.
You fucking loser. No.
But it was a great year for Spider-Man that year. This is maybe the best non-adaptation like ever. This is definitely my favorite. Man, if it's between this and Wonder Woman for my favorite comic book adaptation, kind of. Except for this doesn't actually adapt a comic. It does post-mortemly now, but it didn't when it came out. And I love it so much. It's so good. It pioneered a new way of doing CG filmmaking that now Sony owns the proprietary rights for. It's fantastic. It was great. It was so good.
Nice.
All right.
Can I keep blowing it? Can I keep blowing it?
No.
that's-
All right, Isaiah.
The
you're
final
Oh,
year.
right.
2018.
Dun,
I,
dun.
Oh,
I,
no, never mind.
I forgot.
20
I forgot. I
Yeah,
had
he
to.
hasn't done 2018 yet. Wait,
I don't
Isaac,
know.
have you done 2018?
No, yeah,
That's
he started.
Okay, yeah.
I actually don't know. Like, it's hard.
What are
What
your
are the options
yeah.
you're choosing from?
Spider-Man, Into Spider-Verse, and Infinity War.
Okay.
It is really hard.
I mean,
right?
Honestly,
I did end
yeah.
up saying both of those were tied
Yeah.
for me. So.
Both of them. Yeah, both.
Yeah.
I would say both of them.
Wait, are we
That's fair
allowed to
enough.
put ties in?
I didn't think we were, but
No.
I ended up doing
Oh,
one
no.
anyway.
Wait,
Okay,
you're
no.
allowing them to put ties?
No. Okay, no. Okay, I'll have to choose. Damn. You know what? Fucking Spider-Verse, Black Guy.
Yeah.
Sure. There you go.
All right, that's fair enough.
All right.
You
all
chose
right.
over the most impressive filmmaking of all time.
No,
Okay.
Infinity War. I can't. I love that movie too much.
Okay.
Fair enough.
That's one of the only Marvel movies I actually genuinely freaked out in the theater for. So.
I think I remember. Yeah, you.
Yeah,
I
I was just like, "This is how they're supposed to end the movie."
I guarantee you, if you talk to me on a different day, I would have said
Bro-
Infinity War.
bro-
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It like today, I'm just riding the Spider-Man train. I don't know why, but I know most days I say Infinity War is the best movie they've made. Period.
It'll probably change
So-
tomorrow, and then it'll probably change the
Start,
next day.
I don't feel so good.
Just like your
Listen,
fucking opinions with
not
Star
my
Wars
opinions
9.
on episode 9, okay?
It kind of is, but
Okay.
All right.
All right.
So now we
Last
go
year.
on to. I'm gonna let Megan start this one off.
All right. Last
for 2019.
Okay.
Can I start with a question?
Yes.
Really quick.
Did anyone put episode 9 in their number 1 spot?
No.
No.
I didn't.
no.
Okay.
I didn't even
then
bring it up.
I have a question for everyone after that question. How do you feel about just positive or negative? Because honestly, I had a lot of difficulty this year telling whether or not I thought positively or negative about it at all. And even after all this time, I think I have definitive points on all of its negatives, but still somehow end up enjoying it. And
let's,
it's
I
really
felt it was
weird.
I felt it was a mild positive.
Do you
Yeah.
you know that?
overall, I'll say positive, but I don't want to
Positive.
get into details.
Do you know?
I
that-
enjoyed the film.
Yeah,
Do you
me
know?
too.
You know that feeling you get when when like something happens, but it doesn't really like phase you. Like you know
Yeah.
it's bad, but it's just like you just can't.
Don't care.
You just can't care enough to show emotion.
Yeah.
I know that
Apathy,
feeling
yeah.
very well.
That was what I got watching Star Wars episode 9.
Apathy
right.
is the worst feeling you can get.
At least with 8, I was mad.
Listen,
This is like
to quote Star Wars, apathy is death. You think I'm joking? That's an actual
I know it is.
Knights
That's
of
why I'm
Old
just like
Republic all the way.
All right. So 2019. Let's go.
All right, so 2019 honorable mentions: Avengers Endgame, of course, the top-grossing movie of all time.
Honorable?
Guys,
You
Okay.
sure you didn't miss a diss there? Because I'm gonna diss it.
It would be a
Oh.
very close second to my top
Second worst?
best.
Close second worst?
All right. We get it.
Spider-Man: Far From Home. It was also close second as well. Joker. Lego Movie 2. How to Train Your Dragon 3. Surprised by Shazam. Surprised by Pokemon Detective Pikachu.
surprised by Shazam.
I was not. I was disappointed by the Detective Pikachu.
I was
I liked the
expecting-
Pokemon. I liked the Pokemon designs because they went with
Yeah.
a person who knew.
That was, the Pokemon designs are cute.
Yeah, what
Yeah.
I've told people is I recommend it if you're a Pokemon fan. Otherwise,
You know,
Correct.
what I
Even
just
better.
realized?
Mm.
They didn't use those 3D models for the new Pokemon Sword and Shield.
Huh.
Yeah.
They
All
could
right.
have.
All right.
Jojo Rabbit and Star Wars Episode 9 as an honorable mention as well. But my favorite, to me, a surprise was Rocket Man.
Oh shit!
That is
I
one of my
liked
honorable
it.
mentions. It was really good.
I liked it more than
Was.
Bohemian Rhapsody, if I'm being honest.
because Bohemian Rhapsody was kind of shit.
It kind of was, and it
Yeah.
weirdly won Best Editing, and it has one
I
of the worst
don't
edited
understand
scenes.
because it does. It's actually just poorly edited overall, and it has a.
Yeah,
Whereas
no.
Rocket
but yeah.
Man has amazing cinematography
Absolutely.
and amazing
True.
editing.
Holy crap! Also legit, that was him singing the whole time.
That is
Yeah.
correct.
That wasn't Elton John.
Nope.
That was actually
Dare I
the
say,
yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
lean
Holy-
back a tiny bit.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay, you're good.
Yeah, that was insanely impressive. That
And the
almost won
songs
on
made
my
more
number one
sense,
spot.
like thematically, story.
Oh my god, I love the way the songs were
Absolutely.
used.
That it was the best biopic I could have been
Absolutely,
happy
yeah.
for.
Well, they call it a
Um,
biopic fantasy movie because most of it was correct, but
Yeah.
some of the things were drawn out for a little bit of drama, like the the scene where he has to figure out his last name. He doesn't in the real life. He didn't look at a picture of John Lennon from the Beatles.
But those are like little things.
I know.
Most
but everything
biopics
else
are way more fantasy than that.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Every Queen's biopic.
Has
been more
Bohemian
fantasy.
Rhapsody. No, some things
Honestly,
are very
even
inaccurate.
Queen's documentaries have been
I still haven't done the Freddie Mercury biopic I've wanted, which was just showing the actual true behind the scenes shit.
To be
all
fair,
the negatives with the bosses, they still haven't done the negatives any justice yet.
To be fair, I forget, but isn't it because
and I love the guy. I want to see the shit.
Isn't it because the band members they have high
it's because they only
the band
use
members are all dicks.
It's because they're dicks and they just use his name to sell their current records.
No, yeah,
that's it.
Well, that's why I
they
mean,
don't
they have
use,
involvement in the movies to where it's like
no.
They literally pay for each one to be made so far. It's really
they had a lot of say in it, and also, but I do praise Rami Malek's performance as Freddie Mercury. I think he did a great job with the character.
Individual actors did good jobs portraying their roles. But the problem is that the movie comes from a bad place and it's done poorly.
And I know a fun fact. In both the movies, it has the I forgot the name of the record label guy, but he's played by Littlefinger from Game of Thrones, and he's played by Richard Madison in Rocketman.
Both of which are Game of Thrones actors.
True that.
That was funny.
I found that funny. And then Taron Egerton, a different fun fact, that he was in the movie Sing, and in Sing he played the gorilla that sang.
Was?
Yes.
Oh
he
shit!
He sang the song. I'm Still Standing by Elton John.
Shit.
So
that's
and then
hella cute. I wonder if they did that on purpose.
No.
Probably.
Is there any way?
I think it was a coincidence.
You might have brought that. Okay, so
they came up.
They came up with the idea for a Rocket Man movie starring him when they were filming Kingsman 2, which had Elton John in it. So he might have brought that up to Elton John in conversation, which could have sparked him being in the movie.
Okay. So I found that really funny.
That was one moment I genuinely enjoyed in Sing, though, was the
I'm Still Standing.
I'm Still Standing.
Yeah, on the piano and stuff. Yeah.
I
loved it. I loved
overall the movie
overall it was just inoffensive.
I loved the music. I loved how it was used. Just Taron Egerton's all and stuff. Just the friendship between the two. Bernie, I believe his name was, his partner, who technically wrote the songs, and then Elton would just put music to it, and it just somehow worked. That sort of thing. I loved it. I really did. It really surprised me. And I knew nothing about Elton John. I knew of it because my mom used to have his records and all that stuff, and I knew some of his songs. And because of that movie, I didn't know that Don't Go Breaking My Heart. I didn't know that was by him.
I didn't know that, actually.
That's by him. The only reason I knew the song was from the movie Ella Enchanted.
Honestly, I thought that was like Hall & Oates or something.
I know it from when I was in choir.
But that was my pick of 2019, so...
All right.
I really enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun.
Isaac, or Fen Hotsause, your pick for 2019.
Dishonorable mention Endgame.
Fuck you.
I said that like a joke, but I actually mean that seriously.
I also mean that seriously.
I would say the highest box office. But
I don't care if it's the highest box office.
Hey, guess what? Almost half of the country voted for Trump. So, guess what? The vast majority of people don't give a shit about them. Don't give a shit about their opinions. They're all garbage.
Also, keep in mind, the Minions also made $1 billion, and a lot of people.
That's
hey, Minions
Avengers
was an
unironically. But people don't like that movie either.
I know, but it was a good movie.
Okay, let's.
Okay, all right, moving on.
All right,
2019. Let's go.
I didn't watch a lot of movies this year, at all. I think 5 overall.
You mean last year? Thank you. It's current year.
It's current year. How dare you?
It's current year. I'm gonna cancel you.
Honorable mention Glass. Honorable mention Us. I don't fully agree with what I wrote down as best, but I'm gonna leave it as best anyway. Shazam.
No,
dude, actually legit.
That was a great film.
I'm okay with it being on there.
Choice.
Yeah,
It's really good.
The humor in it was so dumb, but because of the character, it worked perfectly.
Oh yeah, no. What's his face? He's a great
Well, not only he did it really well, but just because it's a kid in an adult body.
Yeah.
This kind of humor that they've kind of been forcing in anyway, where it didn't work, now works because that's exactly what it
is.
But at the same time, not many actors would be able to do that.
No, he definitely did pull it off.
And I think Zach.
Oh, sorry. I think you're about to say what I was about to say.
I was gonna say what I loved is that you could tell that Zachary Levi and I forgot the kid's name. Like you can tell they work together a lot behind the scenes because when he turns into Shazam,
it's a spotless
it feels like the same
transition.
kid. Like it's oh god, I love his performance in it.
I love his performance. There's still one criminal thing that they didn't do, and that's make The Rock the actual.
That's what
I don't know if he would actually.
That is one of the few roles I would really love him in. I don't tend to like The Rock because he's just The Rock.
As acting as a kid though,
he would have.
Well, watch Jumanji then. That's what he does.
I didn't like him in Jumanji either.
Well, he doesn't. He plays a adult-age teenager. Old enough to have sex.
Although I need a Freaky Friday with a teenage girl and Jack Black. Yes. I love Jack Black playing a teenage girl.
We need to have a Freaky Friday with a teenage Jack Black as a girl, but it needs to be doubled. Both the mom and the dad have to switch with the little brother and the little sister.
Oh God!
And we need to have Dwayne The Rock Johnson playing the little boy.
No. Just have the girls be friends, and Jack Black and Dwayne The Rock Johnson just be like neighbors.
Actually, no.
Or they can be a couple.
Dude, they can legit have them be the gay couple, right? And have them have twin girls.
Oh God.
That would be the best thing.
Yeah, okay.
That would be the best.
This is the Freaky Friday we need.
This is the Freaky Friday we deserve.
Are you guys down to like actually write this movie? Because I'm kind of down.
No, because I'm tired.
Not tonight, obviously.
I'll assist. I'll do all.
I'll threaten Disney executives with you.
I will happily be your editor.
I'll be your black guy.
All right. Back to the movies at hand.
I won't act. I won't write. I'll just be a
that
black
was
guy.
my best one. That was
your best one? All right.
Shazam.
I saw Jumanji. It was good. Jumanji 2 was just as good.
I only liked it for Jack Black, honestly. But I love Jack Black. I love Jack Black.
Yeah, he did great.
Which is also especially notable because I don't generally like Jack Black.
Also, I should
for that role.
He was
Absolutely.
perfect.
He nailed it. Spot on. And
really quick, I know it's way too late for me to be asking you this, but should I refer to you as Isaiah or Mize?
You. Oh my.
I should have asked you this at the beginning.
Wait, why are you asking me? I should be Bugfang.
He did ask you already.
I did. I just forgot.
He asked you immediately after I said Fen Hotsause.
Yeah.
All right, I'm just gonna refer to you as Mize for like the next 20
You're
minutes.
lucky I've been calling myself Mize throughout this podcast.
All right, Mize. What is your pick for 2019?
I actually didn't watch a lot of movies in 2019, but one movie that I think first of all, I gotta give Endgame an honorable mention. I'm sorry.
An honorable dishonorable mention. An honorable dismention. A dismantling mention. A dismentioning.
I mean, they dismantled Thanos, so
Thanos was in it? You mean that big gray guy they got? I thought that was Grey Hulk.
Okay, he wasn't gray. He was.
They grayed him
It
out
wasn't
in half
gray.
those
All
scenes.
right.
But that's a little bit gray. His personality was gray.
That is also true.
All right, 2019.
My movie.
No, I actually had a separate thing that I almost forgot. Quick mention.
Real quick.
All of the best family films in the last 10 years, because I don't think there were many on this list at all, were superhero movies. Ant-Man and Shazam, in particular, were probably my decade picks for best family movie.
Not Zootopia.
I discount animated. Like I'm talking about live action. Since the 2010 start, I feel like there's been a huge decrease.
Wouldn't Jumanji
of
count?
Live action family movies. No, because they actually have a weird amount of sex humor in it.
Well, that's true. They'll look at Martha, look at my penis.
Yeah, I think it's a good it's a decent family movie,
She's
but
like, no.
I don't think it's one that all people looking to take their family oriented families to are gonna see. I think most family movies should probably aim for being more wholesome than it does, just because that's what their target audience is probably looking for.
The only thing with Shazam is that it has that weird scene where all the demons.
Lust demon.
Yeah, that was weird, and I agree with that.
That was like
we kept having the lust demon go after the little girl. It was really uncomfortable.
Well, not just that. I'm talking about this business scene too.
Oh,
actually,
For the business scene, I actually think that harkens purposefully back to when children's movies had horror aspects.
Yeah.
Gremlins
That's fair.
and
I
Temple of
think,
Doom.
Yeah, I almost
Those
think that
movies
was...
caused the PG-13
Yeah,
rating.
that-
it's like those
I
are
know.
kind of
Fucking
exception.
Christ.
I know, yeah.
I do actually think that was a purposeful addition. I just also agree that makes it a slightly more questionable family film.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, Isaiah. So your favorite
my
2019.
movie
Legit,
that-
Lust going after the little girl, though.
Yeah,
that was
that-
weird.
they
Yeah.
kept doing
That's an
that.
underage girl. That was
All
weird.
right,
Yeah.
all right.
But my movie that probably I would still probably put like really high was Jojo Rabbit.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that movie.
I forgot. Yeah, we
It was
took
good.
you and Derek to see that.
Yeah,
What?
the Alamo
Black
Draft
person, I
House.
guess
Yeah.
you are allowed to like that one.
What the fuck? Don't hate on Jojo Rabbit. That was a nice movie.
That was a really good movie.
It
I did not
was.
hear
It
about
was,
this
it
movie.
was.
What is this movie?
Wait,
It's
what?
the one where
This-
Taika Waititi plays Hitler.
It's the
And
one.
he's-
It's a movie about like a
A
little German
boy
kid
has
who was
an
brought in.
imaginary friend, Hitler.
Yeah, and he's like training to be a Nazi.
Right,
Like, already in
he's
the
part of
Nazi
the
ranks.
Nazi
No
indoctrination.
way
I
you
didn't
have
even
it.
hear about this one.
What
Oh,
the
shit.
fuck?
It's
Really?
nominated
Yeah.
for Best Picture right now.
I don't watch the award shows. They all suck.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's
no,
true.
okay. While we're on the topic of movies, just real quick, did you see the fucking nominations for this
Yes.
year? My God,
Wait,
you're goddamn
I
awful.
actually haven't.
You're
Okay,
gonna
we'll,
hate
we'll
them.
say it. We'll say it later.
You're
All
gonna
right,
hate them,
I'll
really.
show you
Maybe,
later.
maybe.
All right,
Maybe.
we'll,
I'm really
we'll talk about it
interested in
later.
the Rabbit movie.
Yeah, I was gonna say we're
Oh,
showing
so
you that
we'll-
movie.
we'll show you
Yeah,
that
you're
movie.
fucking
It's
watching
really
that
good.
I
movie.
would love to say it's on the Voodoo.
It's a political
But it's not out yet. It's not
It's
even
not
out on
out on the
DVD yet.
Voodoo.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
I
But
would love to see it with you if you can find it in,
Okay.
theaters.
It is.
Yeah.
It's an
It's-
Oscar movie. Oscar movies come back during the.
That's
the-
true.
Actually,
It
that's
might.
right.
Yeah.
I'll let you know if
I'm
we get it
telling
at
you.
Northgate or if it's gonna be at the
You
Regency
know what
Theater.
else
Yeah.
is coming back because that? So I know Joker must be on it because I did hear my dad said that was
Joker's
coming
on
back to theaters.
JoJo's
And-
Best Picture. Yeah, nominated for Best Picture.
Joker. He
Joker.
said
Joker.
Oh, Joker.
Joker,
Yeah,
yeah.
same. Yeah, nominated for Best Picture.
Yeah.
I still need to see Joker.
Really?
I also need
Yeah.
to see Joker too.
Interesting.
Yeah, well, we'll explain this later.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
Jojo Rabbit's a really
yeah.
good movie. Mhm.
Yeah, continue with Jojo Rabbit.
Jojo Rabbit is a really. I thought it was gonna be.
No spoilers, remember?
Yeah. Okay.
Well, in the trailer, yeah, he finds it. He finds
Anything
it.
that's in the
lean
trailer
forward a
should be
tiny
okay.
bit more.
Yeah.
Lean forward a tiny bit more.
Oh. Okay.
All right, cool. Sorry.
That movie was. It was
Now
good.
lean back tiny
Oh my-
bit more.
oh my
okay,
God.
good. You're good there. You're good there. Just yeah.
It was good
Oh,
movie.
look at the camera.
No.
Give it a profile.
Just stare at the camera.
Stare longingly at the
Stare
camera.
directly at it and never blink.
But that movie was really good. It was definitely not what I was expecting in terms of being a Nazi.
A political satire.
Oh, you know what? I'm just gonna tell you. I laughed too much. I feel like I laughed
Yeah,
too
I
much
remember
at
you
that
did.
point.
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, is this funny? I don't think this is
Oh
funny."
yeah, uncomfortable.
Yeah, I was like,
everybody else is getting uncomfortable after too.
With that being said, I'm definitely upset at the theater that we went to for it.
Wait, why?
The draft. What happened to the draft house?
No, that place was amazing. But no offense to the dude, he was chill. But I was like, hey, do you have an anchor? Do you have an anchor stand? I guess Derek got the last one. He's like, no, we don't. But we have other beers on tap, like Rasputin. And I'm like, don't get away. I'm like, give me something else. The fact that he would offer it to me is an insult. He insulted my family.
Sure. Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
It tastes like drinking a dirty old man.
I agree. But if I was in the
All
worst
right.
But other than
All
that,
right,
JoJo is a good movie. JoJo
Awesome.
is a good movie.
Cool.
Laughing uncomfortably or laughing when no one else in the theater is in scenes that made me feel uncomfortably honestly laughing.
You gonna talk about you and Motorcycle
Joker.
Crashers?
Yeah, Joker.
No.
Honestly, I cringed when he did his
You-
stand-up.
Joker, a lot of people were cringing. I laughed at really inappropriate parts of this movie.
Honestly,
I
And
can see that.
Not
Knowing you,
because,
I can
like,
see that.
not because the movie was bad or did something poorly, because they were doing it way too accurately.
Yes.
And I have a really weird habit of laughing at really horrible things.
It's
now.
not a
Correct,
habit.
yeah.
It's a fucking problem.
Yeah,
Like,
I know.
Yeah.
Like, for example, actual car crashes make me start laughing uncontrollably, and I don't know why.
It's a reaction.
And ladies and gentlemen, we're not talking about just regular ones. We're talking about like
seeing
very
the
serious
bodies
7-car
crumple.
pile horrible
Red
ones.
asphalt.
You're a bad,
Like-
yeah,
like-
basically.
All right, all right.
I laughed at moments that both seemed like everyone else was whinging and cringing.
Yeah.
I got a really... One person in front of me literally turned around. 2 rows in front of me turned around, dead stared me in the eyes for a second while I was laughing. At the most inappropriate moment
Oh Lord.
during his stand-up scene.
Oh boy.
And made me feel like shit. But it was a really good movie and deserves
Yeah.
a huge honorable mention.
All right.
It just makes it 10
guess-
times better
I guess
than a
we
big
had-
thing of his.
Oh, so that was an
laughing
honorable
at-
mention.
at-
Okay.
All right.
Wait, that's an
Alex.
honorable mention?
What's your
Yeah,
number
that's an
one?
All right.
honorable
All
mention.
right. All right.
Good.
Continuing on.
Other honorable mentions: Godzilla King of the Monsters,
Yeah.
one of the best
Oh,
of its
I
time.
forgot that came out.
Gotta
That
gotta
was
fist
actually,
bump.
that was
Gotta fist
actually
bump.
good.
Right?
Yeah.
2014 was so great. That
John
movie was
Wick
actually good.
Chapter 3
Okay.
was flippin' fantastic.
I thought
Had
you
the best John
I thought
moment.
you said you didn't like that one.
No, John Wick 2 was the one I was disappointed by.
Wait, you were disappointed about 2?
I was a little bit disappointed with 2. Not I didn't
All
like
right,
it. I
all right,
liked
all right.
it.
Yeah.
And 3 I liked as well. I think the latter half was disappointing compared to the first half because the first half has like the best scenes in it.
I still haven't seen it yet.
It's
Yeah.
so
good.
worth watching.
Pretty good.
Definitely see it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Lighthouse, huge honorable mention, was really good. Finally saw that.
That's in the Oscars list as well, but I don't think it's nominated for Best Picture.
Honorable mention to
What?
Shin Godzilla in
Oh, wait, no,
2016.
wait, no.
actually
Oh
surprised-
fuck! I forgot about that one.
So
Yeah.
did I until I said Godzilla
yeah.
King of Monsters.
Oh shit! Actually, yeah, Godzilla 2014. Wait, shit! When did Shin Godzilla come out?
2016.
We
I just said
we
that.
just
Oh
said
shit!
that.
Wait.
Okay.
What
Okay.
was my pick for 2016?
We're too far. We're too
No,
far.
what
We're
was my
too
pick
far
though?
now.
Listen to me, honey. Listen to me, honey.
All right,
okay,
Lighthouse
We're
is
too
not
far.
on Best Picture.
We're too far. We're too
Damn,
far.
that's a shame.
We're too far gone.
Yeah, I agree. I
Alright.
actually would
Alright,
change
alright,
mine to
yeah,
Shin
yeah.
Godzilla.
Alright.
Well,
2019, we gotta wrap it up. Come
yeah,
on,
yeah,
let's
yeah.
go.
You gotta wrap it up.
Okay, fine.
Just leave it behind.
Honorable mention.
Fine. Anyway, huge honorable
It'll
mention
come
for
back to you.
2014, and for Shin Godzilla might have been my top pick
Yeah.
for that year.
All right, but
in
2019.
2016.
We're on last year, 2019.
Anyways, Fast and Furious presents Hobbs and Shaw. I swear I thought one of you were going to put on the list.
I changed my mind. My favorite movie of the year was Hobbs and Shaw.
Yeah,
I love Jojo
legit.
Rabbit. I have to change that.
But
That was sick.
Hobbs and Shaw was unironically and ironically my favorite of the Fast and Furious franchise, and I already loved more than half of that franchise.
That
All
shit
right,
is
awesome.
good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Knives Out. Ryan Johnson, I clearly like him as a
Yeah.
director. I love him as a director, in fact. This was really good.
I've heard good things. Don't spoil it for me. I haven't
I
seen
won't spoil anything.
it. Good.
Yeah, don't spoil
It was
anything for
good.
this one.
I love the actors he got for it. I love
Of course.
how they pulled shit off. And I like his weird trope inversion shit in this. It was more appropriate than in Star Wars. Fuck him for doing that in Star Wars.
All right.
The Joker is my last honorable mention, and it was my first. It was meant to be my second place, which is why it's here.
Close second to
Yeah.
first.
Yeah. My first is, and this is because I put enjoyment over filmography necessarily, because there was one character I hated in this, and and that same acting choice was terrible. Alita Battle Angels, my number one for the year.
That came out this year?
That came out in 2019.
Yeah,
Okay.
March. I think back in March.
I actively refuse to watch it because of her eyes.
It's on the Vudu. You should watch
I refuse to watch it.
it.
Why?
Her eyes.
We
You watched anime before. You can watch this.
But it's cute. It's
But
not
I mean, anime, it's anime.
But it's also not everyone has those eyes. It's literally
That's why I don't
robot.
like it.
Okay, but it's the point. It's supposed
weird.
to make her look a little less human, which is the point. And it's also supposed to enhance her humanity, because that's like the whole symbol
makes
of
me
eyes
hate her.
thing.
That's
Well,
a weird reason
you
to
should
not
watch
the
it
movie.
anyways.
That's a weird reason I
Hate
watch
her
the
if you
movie.
must, but
Alright.
watch it, because it was
Honestly,
really,
I'll
really
have
fantastic.
To, I'll have to rewatch the trailer to see if I can stand it.
Yeah, okay.
It was
Alright,
really,
so-
really
Because
enjoyable.
honestly, I was super uncomfortable every time the
Yeah.
trailer
Yeah, the
came on.
Uncanny
That's
Valley-
why I
Yeah.
refuse to
I
watch
can
it.
just see you just flipping through channels in your ribs, just like, oh god, just
Yeah,
falling back.
The eyes, not the eyes.
But that being said, the only thing that really held Joker back from number one was that it was not just a parody and not just an homage, but literally ripped most of its plot from two older films that are also some all-time greats. Those being The Taxi Driver and King of Comedy. And pulled a weird plot thing. And this isn't original to Fight Club, but it did pull a weird Fight Club moment. And
You don't talk about Joker.
You don't talk about
You
Joker.
don't talk about Joker.
Stop talking about Joker.
why?
No, Fight
Yeah,
Club.
Fight Club. We
Fight
gotta
Club.
talk about Fight
We're
Club.
full of Joker.
Okay,
Stop talking about
yeah.
Joker.
You gotta talk about Fight Club.
But and I think the fact that it didn't as much homage but ripped from those really lowered the originality for me, despite being a fantastic original film on its own. It's why it still won second place for me. It just also I kind of resent it for doing that.
You can't morally give it first.
without actually giving call outs to those films.
You can't
Okay.
morally give out give it first.
Yeah, basically, yeah. Despite being a fantastic original film and original origin story for the Joker, maybe the only definitive origin story I'll ever accept for the Joker, because I have a huge thing with the Joker. I hate that people try and give the Joker an origin story. It's one of the only things I hate about the original Killing Joke comic.
Okay.
And it's also what I love, because later he also says that it was multiple choice and that's a lie. So it literally didn't matter in that either. It just keeps it from top
Okay.
tier.
All right. Cool.
But Alita was fantastic. Now I've read the manga. I like the manga a little bit more, and I'm looking forward to if they ever do a sequel.
Okay.
Because
have you watched the original anime adaptation?
the OVA series.
Think so.
I can't find it on any legal networks yet.
I see.
I'm still waiting to see if I can
It's kinda
buy
hard
it
to find.
or rent it.
Yeah.
Because I haven't looked on any place I can buy
Have
it.
you
Just to
searched-
play
This anime. Not legal, but you know.
yeah,
that's-
but that's the thing. I'm
Yeah.
trying to legally support it first.
Oh,
yeah.
fair enough, fair
What
enough.
about Amazon
I
Japan?
think someplace in Japantown has it.
Or just Amazon Japan?
Actually, yeah, we could check the video store in Japan.
Dude, we should. We
That
should go
would
to
be worth
Japantown and
it.
check out the video store.
Do you have an Amazon Japan account?
A Amazon Japan account.
So you have
Yeah.
multiple.
Make an Amazon Japan account.
Yes,
You can get stuff
and
straight
yes.
from Japan. Yeah.
I have multiple, and yes.
Why do you have multiple? I expected you to have one. Why do you have
So there was
multiple?
a thing leading up to the Dark Souls 3, and then later for the Dark
That's
Souls
right,
trilogy,
yeah.
where you could actually
that's right.
do a questionnaire thing, and at the end you get a chance to run for a free Amazon version of Dark Souls 3 with the statue, and then later the Dark Souls trilogy with the bookends, the collector's edition, that costs $500. And I did both of those runs, but I made multiple accounts under multiple different emails, under multiple different people for those runs.
Okay.
You are somebody.
All right.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
I mean, I'm also the person who ordered from Amazon Japan PlayStation credit points to buy Dark Souls and Bloodborne early to play them.
That's
like
right.
I
early
said,
on my
I expected you to
consoles.
have at least one.
Alright.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just
Okay.
surprised at the multiple.
Yeah.
Alright, back
Well,
on
now
track.
you, now you know.
Now I know why.
Alright, back on target.
All right, cool.
Stu, you're the last one,
ended-
2019.
We ended on my top pick for
Oh yeah, no, you guys.
2019.
Please say it so I can go ham.
My
Do
number
it.
one film
Do it.
of 2019
Do it.
will not be said on this podcast, but instead will be uploaded
No.
Saturday,
No.
10 o'clock in the morning.
I
on
will
A-
actually
on,
slap you.
on A Plus
I will actually
Opinions, your
slap you.
one-stop drop for all
I
your
will
nerd-related
actually slap
news
you.
and reviews.
If you don't, I will actually slap you.
Where I will be going over
This
my
episode
top
of you.
10. Where I will be going over
I'm
my
about
top
to
10
reach over
films
and
of
slap you.
2019.
I am actually going to slap you if this is real.
You
better
actually
fucking
Let
doing
him
say
slap you. Honestly, I think this is worth it.
Are you actually doing this right
If this
now?
is an actual thing, I'm going
If
to
you are
slap
actually
you.
no, he gets
I'm
no,
gonna slap
he,
you on
he
this
gets
recording,
to
and you
slap you.
deserve it.
And I'm not talking
Yes.
about like slap. No, he gets to How I Met Your Mother slap you.
This is slap bet.
Yeah, this is a slap bet slap.
You
better
are
be doing
signing
this.
on for it if you do not take this back. I'll warm her up so it hurts a little less.
Please accept the slap.
I'm wondering if I wasn't going to accept the slap. Originally, I was going to actually, immediately after this, tell you what my number one of 2019.
You need to
But-
decide now.
I need to take it down.
Okay.
I need to decide.
I'm going to let Alex slap me, and then if you guys are
You
interested,
fucking asshole.
if you
Just
guys
say
are
it.
interested,
Just say it.
if you guys are interested in seeing my number one pick of 2019, you have to tune into A
Come
Plus
on.
Opinion.
Don't actually make me slap you. Don't actually make me slap you.
Oh,
No,
Alright, I'm ready.
just say it. Just say it.
No,
Say
please
it.
stay on this, too.
I'm gonna let him slap me.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Dude. Well, I guess that's the end then.
Nope, he has to slap me first.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, put it in the video, yeah.
Alright,
Say that.
easy on him.
Oh.
All right.
It's gonna hurt more if you're
Easy
born.
on
Oh, hang on. It's got to be caught on camera.
Easy
Oh.
on
Yeah.
him.
On camera? Okay. Make sure we're both in it.
Yeah.
Continue warming up. Here.
Easy. I like his face pretty, so take it easy.
Oh wait, they're slapping each other. And poop recedes away.
Why? You can say it. This is your last chance.
No.
Just
Final
My
that
poop
one.
is
opportunity.
gone. It receded. We can sit down for another 5 minutes.
Final
and talk
opportunity. His
about
poop
it.
is receded. Come on.
Nope.
Come on. Just say what your number
No.
one thing is. Did you say your honorable mentions?
Oh, honorable mentions. I'll give Actually, no, I won't because they're going to be on my top 10.
Oh my god!
Damn, didn't even sound
That
bad.
was weak.
Wow!
I held back at the last second. I didn't even mean to.
See, I was mad at him. Now I'm mad at you now.
Don't worry,
Are you willing to do a second one?
No,
Hang on, before we
I'm
go,
not
hang
I have to take a
on,
shit. I'm
hang
gonna
on,
slap
hang on,
you.
guys, before we go. Oh, let me turn the camera back down low.
I feel bad.
Before we go,
You know what honestly did it?
Okay,
I was feeling indecisive because I didn't mention episode 9.
okay,
I
guys.
swear to fucking God, that was
Guys,
actually
okay,
did it.
really quick. Okay, so what do you guys have going on currently on YouTube that you guys would want to have being followed right now? Just, you know.
oh, all right. So, so listen.
Oh, you missed
I'm
the
a,
beast over there.
Watch us on the dweebs
so,
and weebs.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up. Let me plug myself.
Bugfang
Yeah.
and Mize.
Better
In
hurry
that
up, we're-
order.
So first of all-
Dweeb and weeb.
We're almost 3 hours into this. Come on, let's
Yeah,
go.
yeah,
You
I'm being serious. That's what.
yeah.
Let's
Tweets
go.
and
No,
weeds,
I
yeah.
know, but
let-
it's
Let him.
yeah.
Go.
I mean, like, if you want to say the Dweebs and Weebs one, you can.
Listen. I'm.
Stop arguing
God.
about
Alright, so we
this.
did a podcast called Dweebs and Weebs. We talk about anime out there, all anime related things. If you want to go check that out, it's on Spotify and iTunes and SoundCloud and everything you check out. I do an anime channel stuff where I do anime stuff. You can check that out at Mize Kurosaki. I have an Instagram. I have a Twitter. I kind of have a TikTok. I don't use it. I just that's just the thing I have. Yeah. I also do meme rap
Yeah.
because I'm a fucking loser.
All right. And any other place they can follow you, Alex?
I'll happily do editing. I'm a college student who's been through once, going through a second time, in a completely unrelated film from anything editing based. But I will edit your scripts as much as you like. Or you can Instagram me at Bugfang. You can also get me. My real name is Alex Vosmic Park. You can find me on a lot of things. You try and Google for me, you'll probably find me, especially if you find anything Bugfang related. I will happily edit for you for money, and or if you are okay with exchanging different things. Say if you're an animator out there, I'd love to work with you. That's about it.
All right. And you can follow me on Turbo Studios on YouTube, where I will be uploading pretty soon a upcoming music video called Lonely. And I'll also have some upcoming short films coming there. You can also, just recently, I joined A Plus Opinions, so you can watch me, Indy Uchiha, and Adam Perez on that show as well. Thank you guys all for joining in.
What about me?
Oh, wait.
This guy, like, what?
Wait. Are you actually
Damn,
doing
man.
stuff?
Yes.
Wow, you're so
Oh my
good.
god, you're actually doing stuff now. Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't.
Fucking cold, man. Damn.
Okay.
Oh, wait, you're actually doing stuff? Oh,
Yeah. No, I'm excited
I'm
now.
hurt.
Please go. I'm excited now.
Damn, dude.
Well, maybe now
that
you
was
shouldn't say it,
cold,
just-
though.
No.
Okay, go ahead.
Now, if all y'all want a nice story by the fire, follow Mr. Metzger's musings on YouTube.com. We'll have some scary stories for all of you. Also, if you need anyone to do some voice acting, please. I really want some.
Yeah, seriously, he is an amazing voice actor. Hit him up on
Also,
Facebook or
graphic
Twitter.
design if you need logos
Yeah.
or anything.
He
I
does,
can do that too.
he's good at graphic design.
I
Voice
would-
acting, logos. Follow my channel for scary stories
I
on Mr.
would,
Metzger's musings.
I would like to hire you for my tattoo stencil, actually.
Yeah, we still need to talk
Yeah.
about that, but yeah.
I have
Alright.
all the files ready for you now. So, yeah.
With all that being said, thank you guys for watching. If you actually somehow stuck around this long, give yourselves a round of applause because, wow, All right, till next time.
Can you
Have a
stop
good one.
being such a dweeb? You're such a fucking dweeb!